Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be? Your friendly Mythric Master today, because today we are bringing a brand new game for us to the table, and that is the Design Mechanisms Excellent Mythras, also known as Runequest 6th Edition. And we are going to be playing using their supplement Classic Fantasy, and augmented by their very recently released Unearthed Companion. This is just released, I believe, either last week or the week before. And this is a game that is based on, as it is on the Runequest series of games, or the basic role-playing series of games, but it's not one we've ever played in the game on the channel before. We've played things that have been inspired by it, like the Elder Scrolls role-playing game that is based in a large part on Mythras, and there's bits of Mythras in Zweihander, there's bits of Mythras in Jackals, so lots of interesting influences, but we're finally getting this one to the table, and we are using, for the setting, Michael Curtis's excellent Stonehell dungeon. I have links down to the Design Mechanism and to Michael's Lulu store for both of these. But yeah, that is what we're doing. We're using Mythras to play a classic fantasy, and we're going back to yet another mega dungeon. And with me to make this dungeon delve are two of the luminaries on the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got John.
Hey everyone, I am John, and I am playing Alana. She is a paladin and has a history of overcoming religious persecution, so her faith is that much stronger.
Very nice. And joining him is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Orban. He is a high elf magic user, and he is a bastard.
Nice. Both literally and technically.
In many ways.
I will say this is the first time we're running Mythras. First time I'm running Mythras. It's the second time John's playing Mythras. First time Jeff's playing it. We are going to make a bunch of mistakes, so forgive us for our mistakes from the get-go. There's
it has been a long time for me. So.
Yeah, and there seems to be quite a few moving parts in the game, but I like that kind of thing. So we're really looking forward to this. Guys, Stonehell. Let's very quickly talk about Stonehell, then we're going to dive in. We're kind of going to do a bit of an unusual thing of doing a little bit of background, jumping into a fight, then doing some background to get us there, to judge where we are. So Stonehell, guys, is like many of the mega dungeons that we have encountered before, like Barrow Maze or Highfell. It is a place of legend that is full of monsters and other terrible things. But one of the ways where Stonehell differs from those is that Stonehell is a former prison. 200 years ago, the Sterling Potentate was the ruler, and one of his court advisors, a necromancer and philosopher, decided to put into practice a theory he had, which was to take the ever burgeoning, over full prisons throughout the empire, which were being filled regularly by the Sterling Potentate's secret police, and transport these folks to the northwestern region of the empire near a city called Verge in Hinterland province, and force them to dig their own prison. Stonehell is the product of hundreds of years of doing that. But at some point, the folk had enough, and the Sterling Potentate was cast down, his sorcerer and philosopher advisor going missing. Folks then opened the gates to Stonehell, but sadly, those who had dug so far down, there were few who could rejoin society or who were even interested in doing so, because a whole society had built beneath Stonehell, or in Stonehell. Stonehell itself, the only rule was you work, you get fed. That is it. If you try to escape, they'll kill you, but it was left for the inmates of Stonehell to organize themselves And as things grew larger and more expansive, the inhabitants of Stonehell began encountering some of the creatures that were being introduced into Stonehell as part of this mad experiment. As well, it's said that they delved deep enough to encounter secrets unseen on the surface for millennia. A final rumor that has come is that those who did survive, who were unfortunate enough to be in there, but then fortunate enough to escape and intact enough to communicate what they said, they say that there is a spirit in Stonehell as well. And in the 200 years since the fall of the Sterling Potentate, Stonehell has become a popular destination for a number of different activities, not the least of which includes adventurers going down to see what can be found of those secrets and those mages. But it's also been a place where bandits have held up, and monsters have held up, and magicians have gone and taken it as a stronghold for themselves. So there are all sorts of mysteries and secrets down there, and there have been, for 200 years, folks foolish enough, brave enough, or both, who have gone down into Stonehell and brought back rumors of what could be found down there. Would you each guys give us a D20 roll? Let's see what you've heard of Stonehell thus far. 9 and a 1. Okay. What you've heard, Alana, is that there is a holy man who lives in an ancient crypt who offers solace and healing to weary adventurers. There is at least 5 layers beneath the surface to Stonehell, each, it's said, hundreds of feet below the surface. And Orban, you've heard that there is a great cube somewhere within Stonehell, and that by spinning it, you will summon a djinn who will grant wishes.
Oh no.
I will leave it to you to decide why you are going down into Stonehell, because we know why. We know that you are doing it. That is the only thing that is certainty. Stonehell is located about a half-day's journey from a city called Verge. Verge is so called because it is kind of on the border of what was the Empire and is now kind of the separate hinterland province. This is Verge, guys. It is a border kingdom. Other rumors that you have heard, hobgoblins are said to be amassing an army in the region. Bandits are always a problem. And you guys have been trying to find, I think, in Verge, rumors or information about how best to get into Stonehell. There is the standard approach, but you're looking for something special. And one of the things, as you were asking for this, there was a nobleman named Varen. And Varen, it seems, has a bit of an axe to grind against someone else. He has been trying to find information, not just about Stonehell itself, but about a particular band of ruffians who have made a headquarters there. They call themselves the Ghost Beggars. And the leader is a guy named Zoril Nast. Viren is a half-elf, and it seems that Nast has acquired a sword from his sister that is of great importance to his family. There is a legacy of kind of monster hunter types among his kind. Clearly that is very far in this guy's past, because his hands are soft enough to soothe your ills. He clearly has never lifted a sword or a weapon or a tool in his life. But this thing is clearly important to him. He does not go into particulars as to how Zoril Nast has got hold of this sword, but he has heard that he has. And the Ghost Beggars, it seems, have taken up residence not in Stonehell itself, but through a secret pass that not many know of. It seems that there used to be a guard post that would look over. The region around Stonehell is full of limestone canyons and mountains. This is an idea of what to expect when you are traveling in the region around Stonehell. Oops, I'll get rid of these here. Whoop, wrong thing. Deleted too many people. There we go. The approach to Stonehell itself is said to be just, you march down to a box canyon about a half day outside of Verge, and you'll find it there. There are massive gates and walls that used to protect it, but over the centuries those have somewhat fallen and otherwise been destroyed or damaged beyond repair. So it's very easy to gain access to the entrance to Stonehell, relatively speaking, as long as you don't count the monsters, the vicious animals, the bandits, the goblins, the undead that may lurk in the area. But there is said to be another way in, and this guard post not only is said to have access to the dungeon itself, because it watched for making sure that they would be feeding people who were down in there without having to go down. It's also said that it connects up to a switchback that leads right down to the entrance to the dungeon and around the gates and around anything that is intervening it. So it is a nice way of secretly gaining access. He has offered to tell you where the pass is to gain access to the guard's former station. What he only asks is you bring back the sword. Not for nothing, he may have been approaching you, Alana, expecting as a paladin that when you give your oath to do something, you will honor it. I assume that you have accepted. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I assume she would, as long as she doesn't get a sense he's being deceptive about his means and
if
intentions.
you wish, why don't you give us an easy streetwise check?
Alrighty, easy and streetwise.
Let's see if you heard anything about. That is a critical. Turns out, not only have you heard of the ghost, was it they said the ghost beggars? Yeah, not only have you heard of them, they seem to be former pirates from further south who have reinvented themselves. It is unusual that they have come this far north, and they seem, at one point, they seem to be presenting as adventurers around Verge. It's the kind of adventuring town like, you know, what is it? What is the town called in Barrowmaze? Helix. It's like Helix, where like adventurers are sort of always here. There's also people traveling, but you can find adventurers. People thought that Zerl Nast was a adventurer because of how much he was trying to learn. So the Ghost Beggars since then have continued plying their banditry ways, but it seems as if someone was particularly interested in contacting kobolds in there. And you're not sure why he'd want to contact kobolds, or even... What you know is it seems that someone has been able to communicate and deal with kobolds. There are many factions, it's said, in Stonehell. Some driven mad by the circumstances, some inhuman beyond belief. Others, it seems, you may be able to negotiate with. So, that is what you know, Alana. This is a murderous pirate who has come far north and seems to be pursuing some kind of goal. I don't think there's any concerns you have that if this person dies, that the world will be lost of any valuable contributions.
Gotcha.
So assuming that... Oh, go ahead.
She doesn't mind taking out some ex-pirates. Seems to be a noble goal.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you guys have then set out. Before we go to another map, Orobin, we talked before we started that you're going to cast your armor spell at the start of the day. Go ahead and give us a arcane casting check, please.
At
standard.
Arcane casting standard. Oh my god.
Okay, so that is a fail. What that means is you can just choose to re-roll, or you can expend it. And let me double check this. Because I don't think it costs you any magic points when you fail the roll, but you can choose to push it so that you can get the spell off. Here we go. Casting requirements, casting time.
Oh, I see. Because otherwise the spell like fails.
Yeah, so on a success, it works and you spend the magic point cost. If you failed, the spell fails, but no magic points are expended. You can force the spell, which makes it a success, but you remove it from your memory then.
For the day.
For the
Or
day.
forever.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, just from the day. For the day.
I think in this case I would have done that. I would have forced it through.
There's actually nothing to prevent you from just rolling again, to be honest.
Oh, if
Yeah.
I'm doing it like outside of combat kind of thing.
Yeah, it just, if you get a critical fail, or a fumble, it's called. If you get a fumble, then something might, something bad might happen. You basically, you lose half the casting cost, plus it's removed from your memory.
Oof.
Oh, so I might as well try again then instead?
Yep.
Because it's what, like it's 10 minutes-ish kind of thing to redo it?
Not even.
Oh, not even. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I roll?
There's the fumble.
Wow, roll 20.
Okay,
You
so
just love me.
the
we got a
game
1 and 100 within
has
the first 3 actual
has
rolls.
truly proven that Jeff is playing today. I think what we'll see is that you're eventually able to cast it because we've already set it up on your character sheet.
Yeah.
You've now seen what can happen is that you would have
Yeah.
lost 3 magic points and then you would have lost it from your memory and it wouldn't have gone off.
Right.
Okay? So
That's hilarious.
that is actually, and we got we got a critical success and a fumble all in the same roll. So guys,
Right.
this is...
And to no surprise to anyone, I rolled the fumble and John rolled the crit success.
Let me shift ping to show you where you guys are. Now, maybe I'll show you a quick handout here. I think gives you a good idea of what the...
What Jeff likes, he should play a wild mage and just embrace the chaos that comes along with magic.
Okay.
I hate chaos magic, but whatever.
So here is what to expect, guys, of what you've been traveling through in the wilds around Verge. Massive limestone cliffs. And while Verge itself is quite active and lots of opportunities for adventurers to spend their ill-gotten coins, as soon as you get outside, you're finding that you're in the wild, and hiking along. One thing we're not going to do, I really would love to use like fatigue and travel and whatnot. We got a lot of other stuff to learn today, so we're going to not worry about that.
There's a
Just
nice
know
road
there
trail
are
here, right?
rules for it in here, which I think are very cool. So
that
would Alana and Orobin, would you each give us a perception check, please? And this will be at easy, once again.
easy. Okay. They're used to changing it first. Easy.
Okay.
Apparently my plate helm is getting in the way.
Mm-hmm. So perception be under standard skills.
Yeah.
There you go. 96%. Holy shit. So you guys are making your way along. And as a reminder, too, Orobin, you are stealthy and you're not wearing armor. So all your stealth checks are made at 1 step easier. So if there's circumstantial circumstances, if there are situational circumstances that would make things easier, like for instance, if there's lots of cover to look behind or there's ambient noise or something like that, that would be 1 step easier, and then your elven stealthiness would also be 1 further.
Yeah, okay.
So you're making your way along. Tell us, guys, you've been traveling probably for, maybe 2.5 hours off in the direction of this this switchback path that's going to, or not switchback, but this path that's supposed to lead up to the guard quarters or the guard station. What's going through your minds? What are you guys doing on your travel here?
think Alana's just chit-chatting with Orban, trying to pry a little bit more into his past, because I expect he's a bit more closed off about it. And
Alana, would you be traveling with your warhammer and shield at the ready, or would you be traveling with your short bow out?
I think she'd have her shield ready, but not her warhammer.
Okay.
Just out of paranoia.
Okay.
But
and Orban?
she had,
what would you be doing?
Probably deflecting the, probing questions about his, family and history or whatever, and replacing them with like, he's very into magic, so he'd probably be like, oh yeah, check this out, and he'd be like doing little tricks and little spells and like things that he think is funny, like there's a squirrel and it's like, light his little acorn on fire that he's carrying, or just do stupid little tricks that are just that he thinks are hilarious.
Okay.
To deflect.
Okay. So how long do you think you two have been traveling together, or did you meet up in Verge and then sort of form a duo to try and delve Stonehell?
I think Alana just got here within maybe a week, and probably maybe met up with Orban sometime between then and now, unless Jeff thinks we should have more history than that.
No, I was going to suggest something similar, like, put together for this mission kind of thing. So just getting to know each other.
Basically, we know each other's skill set a little bit, and she would be reluctant to work with rogues just in general because of, honorable actions, but Orban seems fine, and plus he can cast magic.
Okay. So you guys are walking along. Oh, maybe Alana's asking yet another question for it, and then Orban, you can hear something from up ahead. It sounds like, honestly, it sounds like something enthusiastically eating.
Oh.
And a bit of a dispute.
Something ahead. Alana.
So you can see where you are if you're facing towards that that outcropping, a limestone outcropping. It's coming from just kind of around the corner there.
Alana kind of stops and lifts her helmet up a little bit to listen.
So with stopping and trying to focus yourself, you still can't hear what he's like. What are you talking about, Orban?
Must have been my stomach. We haven't eaten in a bit.
Orban, you're absolutely certain something is happening up ahead.
Yeah, you can't hear that?
No, but then she just reaches down to go for her mace.
Okay.
Maybe we should go look.
I think we should.
So you know that Alana is not subtle in her armor. So if you wish to step ahead, Orban, you will be much more likely to be able to spy around that corner without notifying whatever is there. So
okay, so wait a second. Sneak up.
So why don't you give us a stealth check at very easy, and then I will show you what you've got.
There we go. Oh my god.
Look at that. Okay.
Wow.
So.
Oh, thank God for very easy.
Yeah. So that is what you see there. There are two emaciated creatures, clearly not living. Humanoid. You could give us a... you give us a lore monsters at easy, if you'd like. Maybe you can identify what this is.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Alright, easy lore. Oh.
How'd you do?
This
81.
81. I take it that is not 1.5 times your...
No.
Okay. So, this is what you see there. You could ignore my... but it's tough to tell what it might actually be. And there are 2 of them. You also can see that there is this path across. The drop down here is probably about 20 feet down to the ground. That's the way up the path. So whatever they are, you can tell that they are tearing apart seemingly some fallen humanoid thing.
Are they on the bridge or are they before the bridge?
They are on the other side of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right over there.
Oh, yeah, okay, now I see them. I was just zoomed out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So
I'll come back to whisper to Alana.
Okay.
Alana! There's some rotten-looking things across the bridge.
Dead? Alive?
I don't know. Couldn't tell what they were, but they seem to be eating something. Something
They're in our
evil.
way, yes?
They are in our way.
And that is our duty to slay them, unless they happen upon innocent adventurers or trades of people.
Orban kind of thinks that may have happened already.
Even more appropriate that we slay them.
They look evil.
Okay. Then
What? How far does my detect evil go?
I think it's 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, 60 feet.
They are outside that range.
Yeah. Oh, the thing's in yards. Let me set it to feet. Hold up here.
I'm guessing 5 feet a square.
Yeah. Here we go. Feet. 5. There we go. That should be fixed now, guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So, why don't we do this, guys? Let's roll some initiative.
Excellent.
Let me get rid of this here. Now, I actually don't know if you need to click on your token. So why don't we try not doing that and see if it fucks up.
Do not need to.
Excellent. Okay. There's Alana. And let me roll for these things. Holy shit, Orban.
I rolled a 2, he rolled an 8. That is the difference between our initiatives.
Yeah, it's the
My armor, I would be a lot higher if I didn't have armor on.
Yeah, armor really plays a big role in this. There isn't a second one up there, guys. I'm just using. I'll put it down here. We're almost at the end of the year. We've almost gone 6 months without deleting a initiative tracker. So let's go for the record. And sure, I'm trying to find McCritter. Found it. All right, and they have. Oof, not good. All right. So.
Do you have Fireball, Jeff?
No.
So as a reminder, first we go through cycles of things, and or cycles where each of you takes a turn, and then once everyone's out of AP and we've gone through enough cycles, we start our next round. So we're on round 1 right now, guys. A little nostalgia there for counting down our rounds. Maybe I should use the 10. Here we go. The oversized D10. Let's do it. Okay. So, Orban, you will decide at the end of your round how much you wish to move. If you are walking, your walking rate is 20 feet. So you'd be able to walk, and walk is pretty much allows you to do any action. Running is the thing that restricts your actions. Sneaking is you can use with walking as well.
Okay.
So what would you like to do for your first round? If you're doing nothing, it's dither. If you're preparing a spell to act if X then Y, then that is to ready a spell.
Yeah. I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay, what are you thinking?
It says 1 action. I'm going to cast mobility on Alana.
Ah, very cool. Okay.
So it says that you increase your movement speed by 5 feet if I roll a 0 or a 1 to 70, or 10 feet if I roll greater than 71 or 71 or greater.
And it's so the range is touch.
So So he reaches over and he says, "This will help you to rush them."
Okay, so just so we'll assume that you walked right up to her to whisper to your
Oh,
last
right,
time,
that's right, because I can't move. Right.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
moves at
move.
the end of it, but that's fine because the way you described it is whispering to her. That,
Yeah, he was whispering. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, why don't you give us a casting check?
Okay, so first I cast it. Oh, right, because that'll see if it works.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll work if you choose to blow the.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was casted easy though.
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
That's okay. 27 is still better than 59. I think is your casting skill.
Yeah, it says on the top 59.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, give us your percentile roll to see how much it boosts her move for 10 minutes.
Come on, 100. 1. I love you, roll 20.
So your speed is boosted by 5, Alana.
Are an absolute
You'll be moving
troll.
at 25. What does your spell look like, Orban?
Yeah, what does this spell casting look like?
Only costs 1 magic point, too, by the way.
Yeah, I'll spend that in a second. He's very handsy with his magic. Like, he's very, making a lot of gestures and a lot of, arcane symbols in the air. And it's very obvious when he's casting. He likes to make a show of it.
Okay.
And so he sort of, does all this stuff and, touches her. And you sort of see, like, only when he touches her is there, like, actually the sort of, like, manifestation of any magical energy or anything.
Okay.
So you're not sure if the rest was doing anything or if he's doing it for show.
So reduce your action points by 1. And then are you walking?
Yeah, I will just start walking quietly over there.
So you can move half of your move. You can move 10 squares, or 10 squares, 10 feet, if you choose to. Diagonals will count as 1.
Okay.
All right. They, unless I roll a critical on their perception, nope, they are going to keep eating. Alana.
Alrighty, she's just going to be moving.
Okay. So do you have any action you wish to do?
She's got her sword and mace out, her shield and mace.
Yeah. It's a warhammer, isn't it? Not a mace.
The warhammer, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Don't have any activated abilities.
Decide which. You could decide which 4 areas are being warded by your shield.
Oh yeah, she's gonna just do like a the left arm where the shield is, the chest, the right arm, and her abdomen.
Your right arm?
What? Oh, she can't do her right arm too?
I mean, you can, but like that is leaving your head way the fuck open.
Yeah, okay, we'll do the head instead of right arm.
I mean, no, you can feel free to do that. Just head. I mean, you do have the plate armor in your head. But, okay. So then, that is a free action to ward. And, yeah, unless there is something else, let's see here. Could combat.
Yeah, just look at those.
You could delay, so you could like save something for a reactive one, so like a delay for a parry in the event that's necessary. Yeah. Okay.
We could ready the parry thing.
Yeah.
Or put the shield in the way, and then I can move half my speed or normal speed.
Yeah. You can move half your speed. So we'll round
25.
up for the first round if you want. So you can move 15 for the first one, then 10 for the second.
Okay. I can't get there.
Okay. That's kind of walking into a wall.
Yeah, I saw that. We'll get there.
Okay. There you go.
And as she gets within 10 feet of you in combat, there's kind of this aura around her that kind of like pushes fear and doubt away.
Okay.
As she excuses it.
Then it is second cycle. Orban.
Okay. Let me think.
Did you prep magic missile by any chance? I asked
I
because
did,
George will
yes.
ask.
I did.
Go see spread magic.
The distance is pretty far, I think. Oh yeah, 100 feet.
One's in 100
So,
feet of you.
is it?
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
range.
I mean, it gives away our position. I was kind of hoping you'd get closer first.
She gives you an unworried smile.
Fair enough.
She is the picturesque, youthful, exuberant, and bravado-filled paladin.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can. Sure.
Okay. So then, set your difficulty to standard again, and then go ahead and give us a arcane casting check. It's only one action to cast this.
Doesn't that it goes up if I want to do more or no?
So the casting time is only one action. You could add additional intensity, but your rank restricts how many you can go. Rank is kind of like
Yeah.
because
This is the one that's controlled by rank.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the arcane cast.
Success.
Yes.
So it costs you 3 magic points.
Yep.
And then which... why don't you go ahead and roll... You have to roll hit location because... let's see here. An arrow may strike the target. It may not be avoided. Each missile strikes at a random hit location. So I don't know if the character sheets let you just roll hit location randomly.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
What you could do is scroll up to the combat result.
Oh, actually, it's a D20. There's a chart.
Yeah. So why don't you give us a D20 roll then?
If I click it, it does do
fuck
it.
yeah! Great. Okay. So it slams into its abdomen.
Yeah.
Then let me see what its abdomen is. Give us a 1d6 plus 1. That's how much damage it does.
Sorry, how much of D6?
1d6 plus 1.
Oh. Come on. Big roll. No. Roll 20, you're such a troll.
Oh, look at the wrong. There it is. Okay, sorry guys. I was trying to find my critter here. All right, abdomen. Ooh. Okay, so what does your magic missile look like?
So again, it's like very very flourished, lots of hands. So he probably and then at the end he sort of like makes it like he's drawing a tiny little bow.
Yeah.
And then he points at it, and a magical arrow sort of flies out from between his fingers towards the target.
Love it. Does it have a color to it?
It sort of is sort of shimmers like the natural color of a arrow, but like, you know, sort of almost looks normal, but like clearly magical and shimmering and
Okay.
you know, maybe a bit see-through. But the color, it's not like one specific color.
Okay. So this scintillating light slams into this thing, and it cuts through its abdomen, and you can see blood and viscera that it is consumed kind of begins spilling out. It's not a serious injury. It just speaks to how full this thing may be from gorging itself on whatever has fallen there. That's 2 action points you've spent.
Yeah.
They are now aware. So
Wait, is
both
that blue?
both of
It's
them
blue, yeah.
are going to stand. The one with the red dot is the one that's been injured. And then Alana.
Alrighty. She. Still do the
You
delay
lose
thing,
1
right?
AP because we've gone through a second cycle and you haven't done anything with the delay. It counts as if you dithered. So you've lost 1 AP.
Okay, so I've got the 2.
Yeah.
Is there just looking at my options?
Sure.
Well, we'll try the dither again. I'm just gonna move.
Okay.
Just prepare to parry with a shield if one comes in the way.
Yeah, so you're delaying.
Yep. Minus
All right.
1.
And then third cycle, Orban.
I don't think that. I mean, I can't keep casting magic missile. I think the game my cantrips go very far.
So remember, it's an hour of rest to get 1 magic point back, but you will also have your Magicka potion. If you consume Potion of Magicka, it restores 1d4 plus 1 expended magic points.
Okay, so I would get some back.
You only have 1 of them, so.
Yeah, and I want to, I might need that. We're heading into dangerous place. I'm gonna save my magic points, and I'm gonna move closer with Alana, but sort of keeping behind her now.
Okay. On their round, they were eating. So I'm just gonna let them move. I think they're just spending their turn to figuring out what's going on. And then Alana.
Ready. Last action point going down. She is also going to delay again. So she's going to move to 15 this time to get at the edge of the bridge.
Okay. No, the thing is, you can't move more than your move, though, because you chose to walk.
Well, yeah, but I got that speed boost from Morgan, right?
Right, but that means a maximum of 25.
Oh, 25 in a turn?
25 in a turn, yeah.
Okay, so I'm done moving then.
Okay. All right. If you're banking it for defense, both of you guys could do that, and then if they happen to act next turn or if something else changes.
Okay, I'll bank it for defense then.
Okay. Then, we're on to round 2, guys. Round 2, top of the round orb, and get all your action points back. What are you doing? And then what speed are you doing? There is technically a upkeep phase we do to see if there's any it's called bookkeeping phase. If there's any spells we need to take down, if there's any effects that we need to check or anything like that, we would do that.
Not quite within 60 feet yet.
You have a sling as well. You are not very effective with it.
But yeah, you know what? It is funny. He probably would take it out and try and use it, because why not, right?
Okay. So it's 1 action to get your sling out, and then it costs you 3 to load the sling.
Okay, so it spends 1 action loading.
No, to get the sling
out. Sorry.
Getting it out. You got it. Okay. Their action, they are going to...
Oh, and do I move then at the end?
If you want to move, yeah. Move half your...
I'll get a little closer.
Okay. Then it is their turn. They are going to run this round. So it is 3 times... Ooh, they're not very fast, actually. So 5. Running up will be 25. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're starting to run across the bridge. 4, 5. That's their first action. Alana, what are you doing?
Alrighty. Just thinking about charging.
Okay. Because your total, you got 25 right now. That means 75 you could move. Which would get you... So 70, that's not actually the way it works. It's half at 35 is what you could move in your first round. Or 40 in your first pass. And then 30 in the second one? Or 35 in the second one?
And they'd likely be in on me by then. But it's up to, though.
But yeah, and also you would declare charge during your movement phase, so if that's what you want to do, you could start moving, and then on the second one, you could slam in as long as you've moved that. Let's take a look at the rules once again for charge.
Cycle. Let's move full distance by that movement speed.
Yeah, so the first cycle of movement, you must move the full distance granted by that movement speed. On the second, you don't have to move the full distance, but you can. attack can be conducted after or during the move as long as the requirements are met before. So it could be on your second cycle that you could do the attack.
Okay. So 25, and then, or do I have to move my full 75?
It's equal to your run movement, and I think your run movement is 3 times. 3 times your movement rate, so 75. So you would need to move. You have to move the full distance granted by that move on the first. So you start getting a running start. You would need to move 40 for that first one.
Okay. And if they get into my swinging distance, I can attack them.
Yeah, that's where you could delay. You could just say, like, if it gets in...
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Say if they get close, I'll smack them.
Yeah, so you kind of slam it into one another.
So as she sees them running towards the bridge, she says, it's go time. You hear her armor go chink, and then she starts running in.
Okay.
Thunk, 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 thunk along the bridge.
Orban, what are you doing?
Sorry, it takes 3 actions to fire, you said, right?
3 actions
or to load the sling.
3 actions to load, yeah.
So I do 2 of them this turn? Is that how that works?
Nope. On this cycle, you do 1, and then we go to the other people's turn, and then on the next cycle, you do 1 more. Then next turn, your first action will be to load once again.
Okay.
And then
can I keep walking while I'm doing it?
Yeah, you can walk while you're doing it.
Okay, so then he does action 1 of 3 to load.
Yeah. It's just the first 2 cycles is sort of when all your movement takes place. Anything after that is just, banking things, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Then it is their turn. They were running. So they are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 move to get into here. So they're able to get into range. Alana, you can attack now.
Yes.
They have 1 action left, so they're going to try and parry. Now, your weapon is I think, medium size and a medium reach, right?
Correct.
So their weapons have a touch reach, which means that they cannot, they cannot attack you until they take an action to close.
Gotcha.
Okay. And they can defend. There's also a small weapon, which means even on a successful parry, they still take half damage.
Okay.
Okay.
So swinging away.
However, your difficulty is 1 harder on a charge.
Penalty attack roll by run grade, yes. So let's go ahead and make it hard.
Sorry, one more thing. On a charge, your weapon counts as 1 larger. So it is a large versus a small. Remember we talked before we went live what happens when you do that?
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us your roll. I'm going to roll parry for these guys.
Ooh, got him.
I succeeded, so I did parry, but because it does nothing, go ahead and roll hit location on yourself. So it's standard, and then click on yourself. It'll tell us where you hit.
Okay. Before I roll damage, I want to activate her Holy Strike.
Yeah, but let's just see where you hit first.
Okay. Standard.
And yeah, hold it. I think it's only once per day too. Just FYI.
It's once per day.
Okay. Right in the left leg. Nice. Okay. So, if you're going to do that, then go ahead and roll damage for your Warhammers. Just click on the Warhammer.
Yep.
See. Okay, 5 points of damage and give us a 1d6 roll.
Cool. And as she strikes, her weapon glows with holy energy.
6 damage, 11. All right, so basically, you hit this thing and you blast its leg off. It manages to get its hands in the way, but because of your charge, the force of your power hits this thing, knocks its leg out, it slams on the side of this rickety bridge, falls off to the ground, suffering more damage when it does. Then this, so you use your delay action now. Then this other one finishes its run to get in. Then Alana, it is your turn. What are you doing?
Alrighty, she is straight up attacking this thing.
Okay.
It's like, you will pay for your evil.
Let me check one thing. I'm gonna see if you.
Exception is for charging.
I'm just gonna see if you can attack after, because if it's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because a normal attack, I can't move faster than walking.
Exactly.
There's a counterattack option.
Yeah, there is, which is kind of cool. But you need to have a longer weapon, I think, though. Because the weapon with the longest reach attacks first. This is why spears are effective against your kind of, weapon.
You said they had small weapons, right?
Yeah. So I actually don't know. I think what I'm going to do is, because you've charged this turn, you still have your extra... The benefits of the charge, I think, is carry on. I don't know that for sure, but it seems to be the case. So it'll be one difficulty higher, and it'll be one size larger.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Keep it on hard and swing away.
Okay. And on the lower base here. Hold on. All right.
Oh.
Okay, now you could spend luck to re-roll that if you'd like.
I would like to do that.
Yeah, go ahead. I succeeded in my parry.
I failed.
Oh, okay. So you
Here's my
failed.
4,
He succeeded, which means I get to trigger a special effect.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's see what we're going to do here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Fuck it. I'm going to close range. So you swing at this thing, and what it does is it overthrows you. Basically, we don't take steps towards it. You're either close range or you're at long range. It's closed in, so it favors the closer thing right now. He's right in on you and ready to use his claws on you.
Gotcha.
All right, Orban, you've seen Alana has just knocked the leg off of one, and then the other one comes in. She tries to swing at it, and maybe the ricketiness of the bridge just kind of throws her swing off, and this thing is now up and in her grill.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? You're one into loading your sling right now.
No. I can... Wait. Oh, no, this doesn't help me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Can I just drop it at my feet, or what?
Yeah, free action to do that.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm gonna cast another magic missile then.
Okay.
Because I'm like, this thing's too slow, and he throws it on the ground.
Okay.
And he'll
draw your fake bow back. Go ahead.
Draw his little fake bow. Standard arcane casting.
Okay, so you have two options here: spend luck to re-roll, or to you could force cast, just lose it from your memory, and then it goes off.
No, let's spend luck because I don't want to lose that spell.
Okay.
So first I'll roll.
Come on.
You roll?
It's fucking 73 again.
Okay, come on. Roll a 20. Seriously?
Okay, so now you have a choice of it just not going off, or you have a choice of force casting it and having it go from your memory.
Let it go.
Yeah. Okay, so then that means I'll just force cast it, so I'm down to 3 magic points.
Well, I think what John meant was just don't force cast.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, no.
Okay.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll take your advice.
Okay. So you're trying to get it off, and probably just because you had the stone in your hand as you're dropping it, it doesn't quite go off yet. Then it is their turn. 1, 2, to ready the defense. He's got 1. He's going to try and attack you. So you've got 1 AP. Would you like to defend?
Okay, I can't parry because I charged in, but I can try to evade.
Yes, if you evade, you go prone, though.
Oh.
You could just trust it to... You've got those blocked areas.
Yeah, she'll just grit it and then...
hope that it hits one of those
shield
things.
Between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, here's an example. One of the things that is a kind of go-to for this is because you're not defending, if I get a success, I get one special effect. I would probably choose pick location. So,
okay.
But let's see here. All right. I failed. So he flails at you. But because you allowed him to just attack, it means you got 1 more AP, don't you?
I do. Can I crush his skull?
You can try, yeah. He can't
Does
defend
this,
now, too, because I'm out of APs.
Do I need to still use hard, or can I drop back to
You
standard
still
for my
need to
attack?
use hard for this turn.
Okay.
For this round.
That goes like, die, you foul beast.
Okay. Not with that. And let me double check that's not a fumble. I think fumble's only on a 100, but I don't know. Here we go. Because if
Usually better at this, but the charge kind of...
Oh, for sure, yeah. And also you're fighting on an unstable surface. So that's not... that's got to impact your performance as well. Okay, it's right in the skills section here. Here we go. All right. Oh, and you know what? Geez, this is where you could have used like your Paladin Oath or your Good as a passion. Draw on it to augment your...
How often can I do that, though?
Do it as often as you like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have helped me in this instance, but...
No, and we kind of like...
Yeah,
you kind of have to pick when the... like not everything is evil, necessarily. Here we go. Criticals and fumbles. No, fumbles only 99 or 100.
Okay.
So you're good. All right, so this means you don't hit. Now, you could spend luck to take an extra AP on and add another cycle if you chose to. But Orban, we're on third... Wait, did we just finish third cycle?
No, we did third action. Yeah.
Okay, so anyone else spending... no, okay, so then we are on to round 3. Your charge penalty is no longer in effect. Orban, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm just going to attempt to cast Magic Missile again.
You didn't cast... You lost no magic points from trying to cast it, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. What does my token show you?
It shows
3.
me that you got 3, I think, left.
Yeah, I
6.
can't edit it. It's on my sheet. It says 6. I don't know.
Let's see here.
I tried to change it on the token. It wasn't letting me.
There, I did it for you.
I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, it should be. Everyone should have permissions in it, and it's by character settings. So, oh, you know what? Hold up. Do you have?
Went back to 3.
Yeah, because you should be at a 6, right? For current things. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's by all players. Let me just try. Oh, hold on. Let's try putting it to just John. Jeff. There you go. How's that? Try it now.
Okay.
That's the second weekend we've had issues with.
That worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, because you wouldn't have that failed casting of Magic Missile wouldn't have cost you anything.
Right.
So, if you wish to cast Magic Missile again, go right ahead. So,
Yeah, I'm going to
Arcane
try
Caster.
again. Here we go. Cast it.
Success.
Holy
Nice.
You know.
Okay.
Barely.
So, cost you, I think, 3 magic points. Go ahead and give us a hit location.
Yeah. Oh, so I should be at 2 actions and 3 magic points.
Okay.
And hit location. There's this one.
Left leg. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Knock him on his butt.
And 1d6 plus 1, please. Three. Okay, so slams in. The nice thing with this magic missile is it goes right through armor. So while not devastating to this thing for against more heavily armored opponents, it's going to be incredibly effective. Left leg. Okay, so left leg has been scorched with another one of those scintillating light beams. Alana. Oh no, it's this thing next. Shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've got the dot on it. Now, let me double check one thing, guys. There is... I can't remember what happens when... I think when you take injuries, there's supposed to be a reaction. I just want to double check that. I don't remember if it's with the minor wounds that you do that, or if it is with more serious wounds. All right. Minor wounds. Cuts, scratches, and bruises. Okay. Serious wounds is when you cannot attack or start to cast spells for 1d3 turns. So not rounds, just turns. And when you suffer a major wound, that's when things are really bad.
Okay.
So, for this thing, let's see. He is gonna still in range of Alana. Oh, you tried to hit it, didn't you? Technically, Alana, you actually couldn't have done that because you're at where it is. It's at the range for touch things. You would first need to remaneuver to be at the optimum range for the longest reach weapon.
Okay, well, I can bash with my kite shield, yes?
You can. What's the size?
It's small. It's a huge.
Yes, so you could have done that. Do you think you would have last round? You wouldn't have been able to attack. Would you have moved like a opened range so that you'd be fighting at medium again, or would you have stayed and tried to bash the shield last time?
I would have tried to bash him. I mean,
okay. So then this round we're still at the same, the shortest weapon. So it's touch range. It is going to try and get you once again.
Okay.
And do you want to spend an AP to defend?
Yeah, we'll go with the parry.
Okay.
With the shield.
All right. I failed.
Okay, and if I succeed, I get an effect?
If you succeed, you get a special effect.
Okay, no longer hard. This is standard. Come on.
Come on.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you're limited to what you can do as a defending things, but one thing you can do is open range.
Yes, I would like to open range.
Okay, so you bash it with your shield. It swings at you. You hammer this thing, and you open up a bit. Well, you don't actually.
So I stay in the same square.
Yeah, it's just you're either at the short range or long range because we don't count steps towards the things. It's just whatever the shortest or longest weapon is. All right, then we get to your turn, Alana.
Okay. What kind of action would it be just to like identify what this thing is?
That'd probably be if you're spending the whole turn with it, it will make it an easy action. If you're spending the like just a quick thing as a free action, will make it hard.
I'll go with the free action one.
Okay. So be hard. Ooh, you actually don't have any.
I got lore, religion.
You don't have the inappropriate lore monsters.
Oh.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have been able to do this anyway.
Okay, never mind that.
Okay.
I will just smash it in the face.
Okay. So go right ahead. I am going to spend a AP to defend.
Yes.
I failed. Succeed. Nice. All right, so you got one special effect.
Standard.
So for instance, you know the abdomen has been hit with a area, and you know the left leg has been. So choose location would be a really effective way to hit to one of the injured areas.
Yeah, just because I've took the other one out with the leg blow, I'm going to do the same with this one.
Awesome. Okay. So then go ahead and just roll damage with the Warhammer. This will be, once again, the left leg.
Close that one, and Warhammer.
12 damage! Holy smokes! All right. So what does it look like as you smash the leg off of this thing?
So he nailed it with the magic missile in the legs, and she just like pivoted back with the roll of his claws, and she just spins around and kneecaps him right there and sends him pinwheeling off the bridge.
Nice. All right, so it falls to the falls off the bridge, and as soon as it hits the ground, its broken body joins that of its companion. Both of these things are now down.
You see her lift up her helmet and look down and go, ew.
What would you guys like to do next?
You okay over there, Orban?
Doing okay.
He's breathing a little hard. I got him.
Those things look horrible. How did they smell?
Yeah,
she
not good up close.
Looks at her shield with his blood on it and like, do you got that fancy cleaning magic that I see them use all the time?
Oh.
Prestidigitation? She's smearing it on her shield. Ugh.
There is a cantrip called Cleanse, but I actually don't know if you've got that prepped. I can't remember or not.
No.
Oh, well,
I can glue it.
No, no, thanks. Let's get over here and find out what these things were eating. And then when she gets over there, she finds some grass and just starts wiping it down.
Okay. So if you get over there, what you find is the fallen corpse. It honestly, with the backpack on it and the bedroll attached to it and the kind of stuff sitting around, this clearly is a would-be adventurer's corpse. It seems that this person may have tried to make a similar incursion as what you guys are doing, unsuccessfully. There is a scabbard on here with a dagger, but there is no dagger in it. So either this thing, Lord knows what that means. If you give us a, let's see here. John, give us 4d6, and Jeff, give us 2d8. Please. 18 silver pieces and 8 gold pieces on this thing. There is also 2 healing potions on this thing, seemingly unused.
Gotcha. 18. You want to split it evenly?
Sure.
So that's 9 silver and 4 gold each.
Okay. You can add currency onto the kinds of currency onto the character sheet too. I think I've got silver pieces down for everybody, but not.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Well, we could just convert it, I guess, or we can just add gold pieces. So
Yep.
what is it? 4 and 9.
4 gold and 9 silver. Alana will, pocket it. There's no use just having it laying around. But she'll say a quick prayer over the body. And she looks at Orban like, "What were those things? Do you know? They look kind of. Would you know like they were undead at this point?"
Something dead.
Having seen them in action now, perhaps you can give us another easy lore monsters check, Orban.
Yes. Easy. Lore monster. Nope. I don't know.
Walking corpses in any event.
Gross.
They were gross.
She looks at this person is like, is it like intact, or they just like tear it apart, or?
It looks like these things have. Well, hold on. You've got.
Got some first aid.
Yeah, give us an easy first aid check, please. You're going to get some stuff out of this, but not. I mean, it's tough to. You can't tell how this guy got down. A lot of the corpse has been consumed. It seems they made a really good run of tucking into whoever this person is. The way that the body smells, you'd guess it cannot be more than a few hours old.
Alana sighs and then looks at Orban and says, "Maybe you should take a rest. I'll spend an hour and get this guy at least covered in some stone and half buried, so he's not sit and pray for animals."
Okay.
Sounds
She's
good.
going to set her shield and the warhammer down against near Orban and start collecting some rocks.
Okay. So then that will afford you an opportunity to recover 1 magic point, Orban. Incidentally, when you run out of magic points, you can use 1 level of fatigue for each magic point that is required. So you can fatigue yourself once you are out of the magic points.
That is a great. I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then depending on how fatigued you are, those are in one of the handouts. It'll tell you how long you need to recover. It's in this one right here.
So far, I'm some of the Mythras stuff is coming back to me, but it's been like 10 years since I played it last.
Yeah.
It's very well self-contained.
Yeah, like it definitely stands on the shoulders of, 5 editions of the game. It seems like everything has been rationalized, within the context of the rules. So that is your initial fight, guys. The next thing that will happen is you're making your way all the way up the switchback to where the actual guard post is. So why don't we first just talk about what you intend to do? How do you want to approach this? You've heard that there is, it's set in a cave, a series of caves along this switchback. The one that, or not the switchback, the path that leads up to the switchback path down into the canyon where Stonehell's entrance is located. So knowing that there's a thing of bandits there, what kind of precautions would you guys take? What kind of spells would you want to cast beforehand once you're within distance of it? What are you thinking?
Anna looks at Orban and she asks him, how's your mojo tanked off? You know, magic points. If I take it out of you?
A little, yes. What are you suggesting?
Well, if you're running low, we should take a stealthy approach. She kind of thinks about that. I've got a bow.
It's probably a good idea. I've got this, and he shows his quarterstaff, but
I guess one thing to consider too is it is daytime right now. Do you want to approach this thing in daytime or do you want to approach it in nighttime? Alana does not have the benefit of dark vision, but Orban does.
Well, if I can't see them, they can't see me, unless they're elven like you.
That reminds me, light. I didn't highlight it on your spell book there, but it is in there. Because Read Magic is a 0 level spell, not a or 0 rank spell, not a rank 1 spell, you've got light instead of that, so you can cast light as well, Orban.
I think
it's in your spell book, it's just not highlighted.
I wouldn't mind undercover at night. It'll give Orban a chance to rest himself up, and you know, if these are hideous pirates, they don't deserve much mercy.
I mean, it could work. I'm not against it.
I can tell you that with if there is a moon tonight, you'll still be able to see a good deal of distance. At least outside. Once in the cave without any light, that's it. But there's a moon out tonight, or even partial moon, Alana, you'll still be able to see. It's just that, you know, you may be losing some clarity, and some things may have benefits for hiding on you. So it's not like you're traveling in pitch blackness.
You can always slap a light on the front of my shield, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the darkness, that definitely would alert folks. But it's also maybe something to be said for not climbing the side of a cliff in the middle of pitch black night. Or a dark. So, how long do you want to rest then? Let's say if you guys set out in morning and you guys have been traveling for a couple of hours, you took 1 hour rest to bury this thing, you guys are maybe have like 6 or 7 hours before sunset. Which means Orban gaining either 6 or 7 magic points back by resting.
Yeah, tell him to take a breather, you know, get as much mojo back as he can, and she'll just maybe rest a little bit alongside so she doesn't get weary when the night comes.
Okay.
But she'll mostly be on watch.
Okay, so let's do this then. Why doesn't Orban, you're okay with that plan?
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. Going in there without any magic would be kind of silly.
Then,
have you said these characters are like starting characters?
Brand new characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense that a fight like that would take a oomph out of a wizard.
Yep. Orban, would you give us, Alana's on watch. Give us a D6 roll, please.
D6. Oh, 1.
All right. So then, guys, we're already at our mid-session. I figured it was getting us
that was fast.
up to. Well, I mean, we talked about the characters beforehand. Then we had to talk through your first fight. Orban, you can recover 7 magic points.
Perfect.
And then, while you're doing that, let me check. I think I've got everyone set up here. going to make sure... Oh, I'm going to make one adjustment for the folks at home. Let's increase the...
And athletics would be what we use to climb, right?
It would be, yeah, yeah. Okay, I've got that set. I'm just going to set up the GM's darkness a little higher so that folks at home can see what's in blackness and what is not. I'm going to put this guy right here. All right. So then, I think we'll leave you guys right here, contemplating the approach as we take our break, and then we'll talk about what your strategy is going to be. I know that Orobin has access to magic that can make one or both of you invisible.
I think he's failed to mention this to me.
Yeah. Oh, depending if you prepared it. Actually, I don't even know. Did you prepare?
I did prepare invisibility.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Wouldn't at first level? I can be invisible? Yes.
All right, then, for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we'll see what our heroes find in the bandit caves. So, back in 5 minutes. right. I am. Dave's in chat. Hey, Dave. He, I think, is still in on his work trip.
Yeah. This would be fun with all three of us, but if all three of us here, we'd be playing Fallen Leaves.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just checking the... I'm checking the charging rules in the core book to see if it gives any further insight here. It requires one full combat round of movement at full speed prior to... Okay, so it actually has changed in classic fantasy, so...
Okay. Yeah, I was looking in the classic fantasy one. It's on my phone.
Oh, okay, nice. Did you see anything that...
Yes, it was on this PDF, this image.
Nice.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, we handled it fine. Oh, shoot, I could have knocked somebody prone if they tried to parry.
I mean, you did kind of knocking their leg off, or busting their leg. Yeah, to penetrate or overcome. Well, that would be the special effect you'd be triggering, right?
Yeah.
So, awesome. Okay, so we're all back. Guys, tell us what you're planning on doing for your approach. Orban, you got a little bit of magic back now. I'll put your tokens down on this page too, so we can, if needs be, you can access them. There we go. You guys are huge. Look at that.
Yes.
As you're making your way up this kind of mountainous path, you can see how this would be a very tricky thing. You would not have found this path would it not been for Viren giving you the specific directions for where to be looking for this path.
Yeah.
Boy, you guys really need to employ a ranger at some point.
Yeah.
So what's the plan here? This would have been, if it's a guard station, like there would have been enough for 10 men probably to be stationed here. And from what you hear, the ghost beggars are at least, 10 men strong, plus the man you're looking for and his sword. Though I guess the only thing you need to do is actually just recover the sword. How you choose to do that is another matter.
Right. You had mentioned being stealthy, Alana.
Well, I mentioned stealth with a quizzical expression.
I do have a method for us to be quite stealthy.
Yes. I'm bound to make lots of noise, but if they can't find the source of the noise, that would be ideal.
Interesting. Well,
like it's 28 on her stealth. It's rather low.
Well, would help if we were invisible. Yes?
You have magics capable of that?
I do, friend. I do.
How long do they persist?
Well, by default, about 6 hours.
You are mighty indeed, Orban.
I double checked. Sorry, something, Jeff.
Yeah.
Cantrips are 1 grade easier to cast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So just they're easy to cast, not standard.
So when I do those, okay, I just roll it easy. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I had that in the back of my head. I'm like, I think that's the way that's supposed to work, but all right. So then, so invisibility lesser lasts for 6 hours per intensity.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
It is quite powerful.
It doesn't render you free from being heard or smelled.
We would have to still be quiet. But at least if they did hear us, we would have a chance to act before they could surely see us.
Does this spell of yours expire if we do anything hostile?
Yes. once you were engaged in combat, they would see you.
And for both of you, it would cost 6 magic points.
Yes.
Unless you rolled a critical.
Oh.
With how stealthy Orban is, he probably doesn't even need invisibility.
This is true. Orban always is rolling with 1 degree easier because he's an elf. And in the darkness, if depending whether, what species the ghost beggars are, or at least the folks they have on watch, it may be even easier. You may be another step easier, Orban.
How skilled are you with that sling of yours?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've killed the occasional squirrel.
Occasional being the operative word here.
Sense motive. Was it stuffed?
You can tell he is not, the way he was fumbling with it before.
I was thinking if I move in and I'm invisible and as stealthy as I can be, but they still manage to hear me, could you distract them and get their attention while I move further in?
The thing is, Alana, without light, you wouldn't be able to see them, and you'd be invisible, and there would be an aura of light around you.
I assume they have light in their areas, so I could see them coming, right?
Sorry?
The bandits, they would have light where they are, right?
Not. Give
Depends
us a. Yeah,
whether they
depends.
need light,
I'm
yeah.
asking how you're approaching their area.
Oh. What is the light level? Do we know at this point? Moonlight?
Moonlight. So you're able to see some, but there is going to be obscurement. And you have not seen, in the time you've been walking up these paths here, you haven't seen any obvious light. It would be a foolish bandit to have obvious light for where your hideout is located. You
that
need
is
not
true.
make a streetwise check for that.
We would have to go very slow.
We would. This light spell of yours, can it be cast on something and that thing be hidden?
I don't. What light spell?
Do you not have a light spell?
Did you prep it? Oh, you didn't know you were is in your book. You would have. So light would have been in your spell book. I just forgot to highlight it.
In the cantrips book?
No, not the cantrip. Light is an actual first level spell, or
Oh.
rank 1 spell. But you have that as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, well, but you said I didn't need to take read magic.
No, read magic is a cantrip.
Okay, so yeah, then I could have taken light instead. Yes.
Okay. So a globe of light materializes on an object.
Yes, the object could be stowed. It was small.
It would depend on what, you're sort of, you're damned one way and you're damned the other way. If it is a place that can easily be stowed, it means it's going to be cumbersome to use as a source of light.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it's something that's easy, like the boss of your shield or something like that, then it's going to be hard to conceal, but, light is a 1-action spell, FYI, so Orban could cast it quite quickly.
Well, he can see well enough in the dark to lead me there, right?
Correct. Yeah, you're not in danger of falling, and so long as you're taking care of the path, you're okay. So you start running, then that's where things get a little dicier because you might miss a raised bit of rock or a root or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Orban has no difficulty seeing.
Gotcha. So it could be that he casts invisibility on me, and he just he goes stealth mode and starts walking, and I just follow the path until he says something or gets my attention.
That could be, yeah, if Orban wants to be a little further ahead. Orban is your elven grace, especially since you're not wearing armor, you would be very, very difficult to spot with someone who could see, in the darkness. With your, with someone who's a human, it'd almost be impossible for them to see him. Because Orban could move in the darkest parts of the thing without any consequence.
Gotcha. And my main point was, if I'm invisible and he's not, and they start investigating where that noise is coming from, he could make a distraction and get them pulled towards him, and I could move around the men to get deeper into the base.
You could try, yeah. I mean, it's a narrow path just for planning purposes, but yeah. So what do you think? Are you going to cast invisibility on Alana?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. What intensity are you casting at it? Assume it's like 7 o'clock. You know what? Give yourself 2 more magic points. It'll probably be, it's I'm picturing this being summertime, so it'll be like 9 was when the sun would go down. You'll have 2 more magic points already.
Like the sun just went behind the mountains, but it's not set entirely, so everything just washed with a little bit of afterglow.
Exactly. So it's that
Right.
easy.
I'm in the middle of a valley with mountainous areas either side, so it's like.
Nice. All right. So then, Orban, would you kindly give us a casting check, please? This will be at standard.
Okay, so let me change this. Standard casting.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
So if I spend 4 points, it will last all night, basically, because 12 hours.
4 points. What's 6 hours per intensity?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think we need that much
So
time.
one casting it at the basic level costs. Did
3.
you say you're casting it at 4 or 6?
What? No, 3 points is 6 hours, and 4 points is 12 hours, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think 6 hours or 12 hours, Alana?
I'll leave that up to you, but if your life is in danger, that spell's going to break very quickly.
Yes. Well, why don't we just see where we can get in 6 hours' time then?
Okay.
Sounds good.
What's it look like as you're casting this?
Again, so it's like a lot of hand movements, and in this case, he's like, moving all around Alana and sort of like as if he's washing her image away with his hands, and then right at the end, he touches her, maybe right by her feet, and it does just go like from her head down to her feet as she disappears.
There is no need to worship me. No.
Okay.
What?
All right, so that is done. Orban, give us a stealth check at very easy, please.
Every once in a while, you hear like a tonk, tonk, as her gloved hand is hitting her shield. I can't see myself.
Oh,
Look at that. Very nice. All right. So, if you can set back to standard, let me show you what you can see then, because you will be the first to notice this. Guys, here is the entrance. Let me shift ping to bring you down where you are. There you are, guys. Now, Orban, I'm assuming you've been going sort of a little bit forward, and give us a easy perception check, please.
easy.
Nice. It seems that they have a lookout. So you can picture you're making your way along here. The high limestone walls are on the left side. It plunges down below you on the right side. You're making your way up, and there is this heavily concealed area where you can see there is one human who is positioned there. And he is, let me see here. He seems to be leaning against the wall and keeping an eye out to see if anyone is approaching.
Mm.
He seems to be dressed in, it looks like leather, likely leather armor of some kind. But he's sort of leaning and kind of watching the path, like he's got the job to do. He's not like nodding off or anything like that, but he's also does not have his weapon out. He seems to have no idea that you were here. So you're able to sneak back down the path to where I think you left Alana, because you can't see her either. And You can report back
Okay.
to her.
He tells her to wait. Every like 10 seconds or so, she'll make a little rap against the rock, just so he knows where she is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sneak back there. There's a guard there. Ahead.
You can see further along the path continues as well. This place is overgrown and hidden, and it's quite narrow. So it'd be weird that this would be the only entrance. This perhaps might be a lookout of some kind. The two little squares there that have detritus in them, these will be difficult terrain, so it costs you, twice as much to get through them. But he seems to be, like, the bottom part is concealed with the bushes that have grown in there or that have been placed in there. But it's not armor. It's not, he's not undercover in any way. He's just concealed. Seems it is a good thing you were not bringing light up here.
Yes.
Can you get past him?
Oh, I think so. I don't know if you can move quietly enough. He should maybe not notice you.
One way to try.
Okay.
And, she'll start very carefully trying to pick her way up through the chasm.
So why don't each of you give us It'll be a very easy... So here's where the contested rolls come in. I am going to roll for him. If he fails and you succeed, that's it. If you both succeed, whoever rolls highest wins. For group checks like this, where there is really like only one person who is most likely to fail, they're the only one who rolls, and then it's the other one rolls. So Alana, you're the one most likely to fail here. It'll be a very easy stealth check for you. I failed, and you succeeded.
So you can't see it, but she's holding her shield and mace, Warhammer really high, and just tiptoeing along the ground.
Okay. You can see precisely who he's talking about. And this guy's just leaning up against the wall, kind of looking out. The, dirty, the kind of like wind-burned, skin and the kind of filth on him and the look with some scars on the face. He just has the look of someone who's like lived on the edge of society. You guys can feel free to move yourself past there, though, and explore further on the path if you choose to.
Yes, let's sneak past there.
I'm going to zoom out a scooch here.
Yeah, I don't see him on the map, so...
Oh, yeah, are you blind right now, Alana? Oh, no, there's light. There is light on here.
There is light. I just don't see him on the map, so... I'm guessing he's somewhere up...
Hold on. Go back.
Up in this direction?
Hold up. Can you see the entrance there? To the north?
I can, but
he's in the darkness.
Yeah, he's in the darkness. I can't see him.
That's right. So you can maybe hear him. That's creepy as fuck, because you can maybe hear him there, but you can't actually see him because he's hidden back in the shadows.
Jeez.
I forgot I positioned him like that.
That's awesome.
Okay. You guys can carry on if you'd like.
Moving 25 feet at a time, so...
Sure.
And I'm staying... maybe because I kind of know where you are, I'm sort of just trying to follow your...
Yeah, if you watch the ground,
there.
you just see that it's imprinting, like the front tops of her feet are just pushing the dirt.
Now, give me a sec here, guys. Now that you're here, look at that. It's concealed, so it would be hidden by the approach from anyone looking from the ground or whatnot. You would not see this entrance, but now that you're within the 30 feet of it, Alana, you can clearly see there's a much larger entrance here. And what's that? Light within.
She kind of pauses and waits for Orban to get close to her. Say, "You see that?"
You can see you can hear voices from within as well.
Oh, yes. I can see the light.
How many you suppose are in there?
So you need not make a roll for it because you can hear the sounds. There's at least 3, maybe more horses within there. Because you can hear you can hear people talking. 2 men. to one another.
If we could get a hold of the horses, we could get out of here real quick.
So this appears to be a stables of some kind. If you can, actually, Orson, you can, Orban, forgive me, you can see quite easily. There are 6 horses in there. I didn't put them down. 6 horses, and there seems to be 2 guys who are minding them and kind of idly talking to one another. They seem to be armed with swords, and they seem to be wearing some kind of chainmail and leather armor.
Should we take a peek in?
Orban, actually, both of you guys, let's see here. Orban, you can give us a lore geography check at very easy, and give us a history check at, I think, easy. Alana?
Ooh.
Nice. The accents you're hearing?
Wow.
Southerners.
Definitely the ex-pirates.
So, what are you thinking?
Well, my oath was to get the sword.
Right. So you're thinking we should scare the horses off?
I'm thinking we may be able to use them to make a fast getaway.
I see what you mean. Once we have retrieved the sword.
But do you think this is the entrance to their caverns, or would it be further ahead?
I will say, absent light, a fast getaway along this path would be very risky.
Mm-hmm.
Alana actually has, like, I think everyone's got ride to a degree, but you actually have training in it, Alana. Like, you would know this is the kind of path you would lead a horse up. You wouldn't ride them up to here. These horses are more likely used for, like, pack animals, going up into here, and then maybe riding once they're down. But
Gotcha.
But yeah, six horses in here, and then the 2 that are carrying for him. What do you think?
Orban, you want to peek in there, see if you can see any kind of way deeper in, or if it's just a holding spot for the horses?
I can try. There's some brush here may alarm them to our presence.
Okay. So why don't you give us an easy stealth check, Orban?
I love how the elf is just super stealthy.
Yeah, it's a really cool way of
Stealthy
implementing.
magic user is something I really like.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and move yourself in, Orban. I'll let you know if anything happens. I'm sure nothing will happen.
I'm sure nothing will happen.
Okay.
Whereabouts are the horses kept? Are they like at the trough kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of like there's like maybe 3 that are lined up here, and then there's maybe 2 that are like one over here at the hay, one over here at the hay, one over here at the hay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be very careful around the horses because they may be more prone to hear us.
Mm. Fortunately, they seem to be completely unaware of your presence at all. Your elven grace, once again, lending you stealth. So this is where your rolling high actually helps. It's like Price is Right style, Jeff, for contested ones. You rolled 65 on your success. If I rolled a success that is less than 65, I failed.
Oh, I see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
So, looks like there is more. If you look further down.
Yeah, there are multiple paths. Oh. So that's probably enough to see. So
Yep.
I can see there are multiple
You can hear
paths.
as well, there are more men talking in this next chamber down.
Yeah. So I'm going to move back.
Okay.
There are definitely more paths.
So this is our way in.
It's seeming that way.
Shall we set up an ambush out in the chasm for them and lead them out, or are you feeling up to going toe-to-toe with them?
We were thinking we should start the fight at this point.
And I can sneak around until they find me. Even if they hear me, they won't find me until they bump into me.
That is true. Well, I'm not sure that we can. Well, maybe I should cast invisibility on myself as well, and we should really try to sneak through.
That brings up an interesting question. Are there verbal components to hit spells?
I believe there are. There isn't like a verbal somatic description, but they always require gestures. I believe they also require verbal components.
Which is a chance they will hear you.
Yeah, because I think I seem to remember there being a like you can try and cast quietly, but it increases the difficulty by one step.
I mean, I could move down away a little, a ways away, or we just continue to try to be quiet.
Well, if you go into the light, it'll be harder for you to stealth.
Exactly.
There is a second way in, you recall as well.
Oh.
There was that lookout. What you may not have seen, Alana, that Orban would have. That was not just a single lookout. It led inside the cave.
Ooh, how are we going to sneak past him, though?
Hmm.
Well, he is the lookout, right? So if you get him over this direction, I could sneak into there, and then you follow up when he's busy looking for something.
We could try that. Try to lure him from his place.
So one thing that is maybe not unclear from the character sheets, for Alana, your combat style includes unarmed combat. So shoves or things like that, or grappling or whatever, all that counts with your combat skill, not the unarmed skill. That is not part of yours, Orban. You would have to use your unarmed skill, which is...
I'm just hesitant to break this invisibility. It's very useful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I thought I'd mention that just if you're gauging, like there are some neat other ways to fight in this system. I wanted to make sure that you were aware that was part of your combat style too. So, what are you guys going to do then?
Yeah, strategy. Yeah.
I mean, Alana's she's fine with just going in there and just, clocking somebody from behind right before invisibility pops off. Because these are, ex-pirates. They don't deserve any mercy. Pretty sure they're evil. She's heard of them, so.
Right.
Yeah, the ghost beggars they're murderers. They're murderers and thieves. Like there's no, not to, encourage murder per se, but like Alana, in your measure of these individuals may not be supernatural evil, but in a common parlance, they are evil men.
Yeah, if Alana takes them out, this is not murder. This is justice coming for them.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe vigilante justice, but
There
technically, I think it's justice. Boo! Boo, Madison!
There are lots of them. I can hear more. There are the two here, the lookout, plus more down the way.
It's up to you. What do you want to do, Orban? We could start an issue with the horses and get attention in there and then slip past the lookout.
Lure these men away. It is reasonable.
Just, if anybody's going to initiate the hostile action, it's got to be you.
Well,
once I'm visible, it's fighting time.
I say we try to lure the lookout away, and just when he goes to look, we try to quickly sneak past his position.
I agree. And then you hear footsteps.
Because it's unique to this game too, Jeff, did you take a look at Befuddle, the cantrip?
Oh, yes, that's right. It is really a fun spell. I did look at it because I was going to use it. Yeah.
Do paladins ever get spells?
Yeah. So in classic fantasy, the core book, they didn't, but Unearthed Companion is kind of like the benefit of several years of playtesting and whatnot. At rank 2, the paladin gets rank 0, so you get cantrips.
Okay, because I noticed she had magic points. She just can't spend them on anything.
Exactly. You always have, because there's certain things that will target magic points. So.
I mean, I think that honestly, Befuddle is a very reasonable thing we could try here.
Okay.
I can't click on it. I'll read it to you. The caster causes confusion within the mind of a size 1 to 20 corporeal target. This spell cannot affect targets of a larger size. The subject of the spell has difficulty thinking straight, forgetting where it is, what it is doing, and why, often lapsing into disassociated lines of thought. Befuddled targets can still act in self-defense, but cannot initiate any constructive activity until the spell ends.
That's a great spell.
It's 30 minutes long.
It does have a resist, and the way that works is you make your casting check, and then I make a willpower roll, and just like as if it's a contested one. If you roll higher than me, or I roll fail, and you roll a success, it's effective.
Yeah, I mean, then we're in the combat, in the shit of things, so I think we could try it.
Mm-hmm. And if I get close enough, and you're behind me when you do it, he'll come at you, and then before he gets anywhere.
It's 60 feet. It's like you set yourself up, and then the lookout. So the lookout, you can't see the lookout from where you are currently. You have to kind of go around the corner. But what do you think, Orban?
Yeah, so 60 feet. Right, I have to come pretty close till I can see him. Oh, I technically could see him better the other way of the entrance. I can't really see him hidden from here. So where we first came in. So over here, like when we were like at the entrance, I can see him.
So if you want,
I'm fairly close. Yeah.
Yeah, like if Alana wants to go past, I'll get you to make a very easy stealth check again, Alana. Only because of the noise of your armor. That's the only reason I'm making you roll.
I completely understand.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would know what's going on. It would just hear. Okay, and perception. Yeah, fail completely. Okay,
so there. I'll stand right in the middle there just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like so dark right here. I can't see.
Orban, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt the spell.
So remember, because it's a cantrip, it is an easy difficulty.
Oh, right. So set to easy.
Yep.
That will help.
And then I'll roll.
Here we go.
Willpower.
Cast.
Okay.
Okay, that's a pretty good result.
It's a pretty good result. It's a 39.
So it's not like really low, and it's a success.
What does your befuddle look like? How does it manifest?
I think that he again, he's like, doing a lot of hand gestures and sort of blocking the eyes, sort of covering the ears, doing the old this.
Yeah.
And then he sort of points at him, and this sort of almost like a cloud drifts over and sort of tries to settle on his head like a cloud has covered him.
So he is hit, and there is just his arms sort of go down. He's got 1,000-yard stare on his face, and when the spell has taken effect. So it costs 1 magic point. You know when it's taken effect, Orban, and this guy is well and truly befuddled.
Ooh.
I mean, I'll put
Excellent.
blue down for befuddled. Alana, give us an easy perception check. Let's see if you've picked up on that as well.
Easy and perception.
Oh, hold on. You can't see there. Forgive me. I forgot. Yet it's darkness. So, what are you guys doing next?
Well, I'm kind of, I'll be like, I think it's marked.
So, as long as you're not attacking him or threatening, you're free to interact. So, you could step through his square, for instance, if you chose to.
Gotcha. Alana's will start making her way towards him. And
So here's the thing, Alana. If you're going through in blackness, I think there's almost no chance of you... I'll let you make a Herculean perception check to try and see what to avoid touching this guy, but like you're going to have to give a light, or you're going to have to let Orban go through first. And
yeah, she starts. I think she'll start fumbling around very carefully to find her torch.
okay.
And then you might hear like a sound, and then it flares up invisible as I get light.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So torch. Let's see how much light a torch gives. Ooh, shit.
Because I have I think 6-hour torches on me.
Yes. Yeah.
Torch. It didn't say on my sheet, so.
No, that's right. I don't think it does. It's in the.
And
gear
she'll be
here.
stowing her warhammer just to hold the torch. So.
Torch has a 10-foot radius on it.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you some light here.
Best thing about the torch is I could just chuck it.
Yep. You also can try, and there's a chance of setting fire to things too.
Oh, that'll make a great distraction.
Yeah.
We just need him to be, the bugger off, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say Alana has a callous disregard for their lives, but
So if you light your torch up, Alana, now you can see where this man is, I think, right? Yes. So yeah, there's that entrance that's going past. He seems completely like, even the light goes in, he's kind of like, oh, and muttering away to himself as he's looking at the torch. And you're just seeing light come up out of nowhere, Orban.
yeah. And then she's gonna try to like just squeeze past him, try not to touch him.
You got it. Go ahead.
Does it put any dim light past the 10 feet, or is that it?
That's it. Just bright light for this one.
Jeez.
You gotta buy better torches.
Yeah, but they last for 6 hours, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can see there is light from up ahead, it seems. Hold on, I do need to actually... Let me double check something. Go. Yeah, hold up. I gotta put... I forgot to put light source in here. There you go. So you can hear there are 3 men speaking up ahead. You hear 3 distinct voices.
Okay. And I can see light coming from just around this area?
Yeah, and I think you can see through the kind of twisting corridor, there's one guy, and he kind of looks up at where the light is. And let me just make a... he says, "Hey, Rurik, with the light out, someone's gonna see."
Alana will, at that point, she'll...
Let's drop an initiative, guys.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone click on your initiative score, and I'll do a bandit thing here.
Boom. Hey, not bad.
Okay. And see here. So there's a great resource called the Mythras Encounter Generator, where they've got like hundreds of fucking stats that are preset, and then you can also click it to generate, and it'll randomly generate the stats for each of them as well. For both classic fantasy and all the other different Mythras settings, so it's really fucking handy. Okay, so the initiative is...
Like how a lot of our infiltration things always turn into Mission Impossibles. We get halfway in and then all chaos breaks loose.
Totally.
Okay, here we go. So that is, well, only possibly thus far. So you guys are not, things haven't gone south just yet. All right. Orban, were you planning on kind of hanging back until you see what Alana, or until you hear from Alana, or what?
I mean, I was kind of waiting to see what would happen, because I mean,
Okay.
Smart.
That's fine. So we'll also have your dithering for this round. Go ahead, John.
He could spend the time casting invisibility on himself.
He wouldn't know why, though, right? He doesn't know he's in initiative.
Oh,
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all they've done, he said that, and that's all he's done this round. He's dithering this round, the bandit. What are you doing, Alana?
Alana's going to take the torch and lower it to the ground and try to rub it out, because she's got light ahead, so she can kind of feel her way in.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's if you're spending your one action to do that, no problem. So
Probably used an hour of its life just for that. And then for as far as moving, she's gonna
You're planning on walking?
just like half speed, just to try to be a little stealthy. But
Sure. It's a narrow thing in here. The way that they're kind of talking to one another too. It looks like there are. It's just bandits sitting around bullshitting. You can see there is from where you saw before. There looks like there's like furnishings that seem to have been stolen from somebody that have been set up in here, because they look in like there's a fancy chair in here. There's one that doesn't match. It's a shittier stool. It's stuff that they have either accumulated or perhaps the guards, but this guard post would have dated from like 200 years ago. So that's what you've seen. Orban, I'm assuming you're dithering.
Yep.
They seem to be completely ignoring you now, Alana.
nice.
What are you doing?
She's gonna just move in a little bit further, and then possibly come out a little bit.
Sure.
But it looks like it's a bit of a squeeze there.
Yeah, why don't you give us a very easy stealth check, please?
She sucks her gut in.
Nice. Okay, no problem. So they're all talking to one another. They don't seem to be they're not aware of your presence in the least. What are you doing?
I think we're going to go for a little bit of chaos here. She wants to make her way over to the light source and put it out.
I mean, it's a brazier, so you'd have to like pick it up and turn it over. Even that wouldn't necessarily put it out; it would just spread the fire. So you could do that, but I'd probably count that as an attack, though.
Yeah, I was thinking. Maybe if I pick it up and try to move it, would they start freaking out?
It probably, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just leave that alone for now. I'm looking for a sword. It's probably on the boss guy. So
If you're looking around, the way these guys, none of these guys look like they're in charge.
Okay.
So I guess I will continue moving.
Oh yeah, he probably gave you some kind of description of what it is. It's an ornate short sword, enchanted. So if you prep detect magic, Orban, then you would be able to easily identify which one they're looking for. Then what would you like to do? As far as picking it up, Alana, you could do that. And what their reaction might be, I would leave to the dice. There'd be a willpower check to see what the hell they're thinking. It's said that you can access Stonehell from here, so there's, whatever horrible things down there may be up here. What are you thinking?
I think she'll attempt to get in this position, so, right between the two guys.
That's going to be an easy athletics, or an easy stealth check.
I figured. Come on. Oh, I just failed.
You want to luck that?
I do want to luck that.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it. Nope.
So as you're moving between, they hear kind of like, hey! And they can hear you moving. I'm going to make a easy... An easy just intelligence check here, as if it was a skill. So, let's see, for the one, fortunately, they're not all that bright. Oh, all right. So, when you were doing that, that was going to be the end of one kind of non-round of combat. They've heard something moving, and they occupy a kind of a magical world as well, too. So someone shouts out, "Someone's here!" And Orban, you can quite easily hear that. They've said it loud enough so it echoes through the cave. So,
oh, yeah. Okay.
So we're top of the round. Orban.
Okay, so I have all 3 actions. What happens when I run?
If you choose to run, it's 3 times your movement.
Okay.
So it'd be 60 feet, 60, I think, for you to...
So obviously he's going to see me, so I'm going to run up. I'm going to say to this guy...
So,
tell this guy,
if do you have an action you want to do? Remember, if you do your action first, then you do half your move on the first cycle, and then you do the rest of your move on the second cycle.
This turn, I'm just going to run up to him then.
Okay.
Or this action, I should say.
Okay. And then you could just you could delay one or use it for, delay it for defense if you choose.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't, yeah.
And then if it comes to the second cycle and you haven't used it, then you just lose that AP. You count as if you dithered. Okay. All right. So you go racing up. Their turn. They are going to have to make perception checks to try and figure out where the hell you are. But first, they're going to... How many action points do they have? Hold on. Only 3. They're going to stand up for their first action. Alana, what are you doing?
I just want to have fun with this. I think she want to get her hands on this brazier, and of course, she did.
So have you ready? Let me answer it, because one action is to ready it, so you're going to grab hold of it.
How about I do that on my next action? What she wants to do is start singing in a very low tone, "Yo ho," like a pirate shanty.
Okay. What's your intent here?
Pirates, right?
What's your intent here, though?
To scare them.
Okay. Why don't you give us a... Actually, you're pretty good, potentially, at this. Give us an influence check, please.
Standard?
Oh, no, you're trying to deceive, so it's a deceive check. Let's make it an easy deceive.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Nice. Unfortunately, because it was a 9.
They roll higher, they beat it, but...
Yeah, but they do need to succeed, and these are kind of cowardly. Failed, and succeeded, and beat you. So 2 of them, and let me roll randomly to see which one is the one that succeeded. Okay, the 2 who are near you are... the look on their face... They, whoever it is, Jex! It's Jex! He's come back! They automatically think that something has gone on, so they're going to be wasting, they're dithering for the next action. Orban, what are you doing? You were starting to run?
Yeah, well, I ran over to here and I'm going to... Someone down that way, he's going to say, and point, farther down the tunnel, is what he's going to say to this guy.
Okay.
He's hoping the confusion is going to...
I mean, he's befuddled still, right? So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's confused. I'm hoping he's gonna...
Well, the thing is, he can't initiate any constructive activity until the spell ends.
Oh, he can't do anything.
You can run past him. Like, if you want to give us a...
Yeah, okay, then I'll just run right past him.
Yeah, just give us a... because of the narrow gap, just give us a... let's say very easy athletics check.
Okay. Very easy athletics.
You want to luck that?
Yeah, let's luck that. It's the time of the night when we spend our luck on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun with this one, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Nice. No problem.
There we go.
Carry on. You can move another 30. So 6
Okay.
squares.
1, 2,
You
3,
can start hearing the very low tones of a sea shanty.
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so you go racing in there.
Yeah.
Then on their turn, 2 of them are dithering as they're kind of just like trying to figure out. The other one draws his short sword, and he says, "You fool! Someone's here!" And that's all he's doing with his second action. Alana.
Now this time Alana's going to reach down and grab the brazier and lift it up, readying it. And it's like, because it doesn't go invisible when I pick it up, it's only what I'm wearing at the time.
Yeah.
So it starts floating there.
Okay. And then Orban. I think you would lose your second action because you dithered.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got 1 more action. What would you like to do?
So my last action. I can't see this guy now.
So the guy who's drawing his sword is the one at the far end of the cave. Sorry, I should have. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
But I see this gentleman here.
And he's the one who seems scared of. You can hear Alana's voice singing some song.
Yeah.
And they seem. So if you. You could befuddle him as well, too.
I was going to say, yeah, like, I think that makes sense. Like, I'm just going to try and befuddle this guy as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's easy because it's a cantrip. And it's save.
I'll make his.
Oh, that's a good roll.
It's a good
Nice. So I did succeed, but not. I didn't beat you. So this guy.
These are 1 point each, right?
1 point for
0?
each cantrip. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done 2.
roll. 30-minute long befuddling is terrible for them.
So he is stunned once again by this. So he seems to be well and truly befuddled. The other one, I'm going to let him make a perception check for you, Orban. It failed. He's just terrified of the prospect of the sea shanty. He'll stagger back. Alana.
Would I have heard the names of these 3 during the conversation? Possibly.
Give us a hard perception check. Let's see if you've picked up. Just people tend to not use sort of given names, but there's a chance.
No.
You want to luck that? I mean...
Nah, it's not going to be.
All right.
I was just going to make it more personal, but she's going to say, 1 soul claimed and coming for you.
Okay.
And the brazier's going to step a little bit closer to the guy who just stepped back.
Okay, so you're moving the brazier over?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so... All right. Then that is the end of the round, I believe, unless anyone's spending luck for extra actions. No. Top of round 2. Orban, what are you doing? You have 3,
So now I can
3 action
see
points.
we're setting action points. Now I can see the guy that has his sword drawn.
No, you can't.
It's this guy over there.
Oh, I see another guy though.
Yep, there's 3 in here. The guys with the blonde, kind of faux hawk and the mustache, those guys have leather armor on. The other dudes have chain and leather.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to befuddle this gentleman as well.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Easy cast.
I think I failed
Oh,
my...
no.
Oh, baby, that's a good one.
I failed my willpower, so I'll be 1 more magic point. Oh, but he's likewise... You recognize the looks on their faces, Alana, now that you've seen the look. There's just this look of like... on their faces.
Oh, yeah, I assume Orban would come in and back me up, so she's just leaning into it.
Okay. Then this guy... so he has drawn his sword. He's going to try and suss out where you are. Oh, no, you got a fucking brazier in your hand.
Yeah, I'm just one hand.
Like so. I'm going to make it hard. Let's see here. I think his move's only a 20 as well, though, so it won't be until next round. He's going to save. He's going to delay 1 action, but he'll move 2 forward. Out of the way, you fools, he says, as he steps forward. Alana.
She'll continue on and saying, 2 claimed, now the 3rd. And then swing a little bit closer. She's I don't know if that's a free action, but she'll be delaying just in case, like a parry or something.
So it's not a free action. A delay means that remember, you delay, and then if something comes up, you can defend yourself with that AP. If you're not attacked, you just lose it for dithering.
Okay, so yeah, she's gonna hold the thing in and then move in.
Okay, so the brazier takes 2 hands to pick up.
Oh, I thought it was just a one hand.
No, sorry.
Big thing. Okay.
No, you know what? No, hold on. You're pretty fucking beefy, so maybe it is one-handed. Yeah. So you would be able to parry with the shield. Yeah. Okay.
So she'll assign her the hand with the brazier is being protected with a kite shield. Her head, the arm holding it.
Hold on. That doesn't. If the hand with the brazier, if the brazier's been protected by the shield, the brazier would be behind the shield, right?
But I'm invisible, right? You can still see it, right?
No, but I mean, like, you would be concealing the light of it, though. It wouldn't be giving off light then.
I thought I'd took that in my clothes. Okay. Well, I won't protect the brazier then.
Okay, so your hand is out in the other 4 areas?
Head, arm holding the shield, chest, and abdomen.
Got it. Okay.
And then I'll move here.
You got it. Okay, so he sees the thing looking over. Orban. Orban, you didn't declare your movement last time.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't want to move in any deeper.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can choose to walk. It just means that you'll be restricted to half your move. So if you did
I basically want to stop running in. So, yeah, because I could start to see them. So, yeah, I guess I could have, moved there.
Yeah, if you wish. Yeah, so there now you can see that other dude if you'd like. So, Orban, you're on second action or second cycle.
I mean, no point in changing the song yet, so I'll try and befuddle the last guy.
Okay.
Oh no!
Off by 1. You want to luck that?
Wow. Yeah. What time is it? Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll still have 1 luck left in reserve, so might as well.
I mean, the other option is you could
force it through.
You can just take the fail and just not spend the magic point. You could force the thing and just lose it from your memory. That means no more befuddling.
Yeah, then I mean that's kind of interesting because then I don't have that technique for whatever the final fight is, and I just leave these guys confused. Yeah, you know what? Why don't I keep
befuddle runs a course? You could just force it.
Yeah, so exactly. I'll keep the luck, and instead I will force the spell.
Okay.
And
now I think forcing still costs the magic points. But let me double check.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I would expect.
What you said last time. Yeah.
So I'm down to 6. Yeah, because I mean, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you, the guy has got his sword drawn, and then the look on his face just changes, and he's once again like the others, all kind of babbling to themselves. I rolled an incredible fail for him.
Nice.
What are you guys doing next? We're out of combat now.
You hear Alana go from her she shanty and set the brazier down. That's heavy.
Okay. So I'll put the brazier down here.
So she looks over at Orban as he gives him a thumbs up and realizes, he can't see her.
Yeah. I guess I'll move into the room now that they're confused.
What would you guys like to do next?
Explore further.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be them. This isn't who we're here for.
No. We're looking for a magic sword, short sword. So if we come across if we verify it's magical, we can get out of here. And she looks at these 3 like, really put them in a stupor.
Yes. It doesn't last forever. We should move quickly.
In that case, you should take the lead. You can see further than I can in the darkness.
It lasts... Oh, yeah, half an hour. Okay. Sure, I can take the lead.
Imagine a heavily armed paladin doing a freaking stealth Mission Impossible.
That's why I love this old school play, though. It's such inventive, solutions instead of.
Oh, there's the.
I see
the horse. I see the horse room. We're past it.
You'll have to lead me by the hand. I cannot see in that space.
Okay, so he turns and let's walk then with me keeping a hand on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's nothing in there. Go ahead. Sorry, I was just double checking to see what was in the.
And then we'll go this way. Yeah.
I can't see his token, so I can't move myself, Kev. You might have to move me along with him.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're.
Yeah, I'm gonna like. Yeah, she reached out her hand, and I would
Here, I'll
feel
put you
for
there.
it. So
It may not. You should be able to move freely now, Alana. Oh, you can't
Yeah, I
see
can
where Orban is either, right?
Yeah, I can see into this room, but not up here or anywhere.
Okay. So what you can see up ahead there looks like there's a bunch of like old boxes or crates, Orban. There's no light in that cavern up ahead.
Yeah. Like this way, there's no light. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, correct. Up here, there's no light.
Yeah.
There is over here. You know what I should do is...
So I'll continue to lead.
So you can tell the difference here, Jeff. I'll put a...
Oh, yeah, so I know when we're heading into... I mean, I can see the torch.
Here you go. So you see... Oh, I just made it a color that's like fucking impossible to see. Madison, come on, man. Here we go. Let's do... how about that?
Oh, you're going to give the torch some color?
I'm going to give the torch light some color. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that you... And actually, like, I keep picking colors that are, like, just completely lost.
In the washed out sort
Yeah, exactly. So
gray.
let's try this here. Is this going to be... Can you see that?
Yeah, it's sort of like yellow.
Yeah, so the oranges, I'll do that for each of these, so that because I like Alana can see where it is, but because of your dark vision, I think it's otherwise lost on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll lead her this way. The whole point of this was to get past these horse guys, so...
Yeah, so you're in pitch blackness right now, Alana, as you're being led along.
Yeah, so we'll just go one sort of square at a time.
Okay.
So dark.
It's very
This-
dark.
Appears to be, you know what, I got the other thing. So one of the neat things about Stonehell is Stonehell's got it's got the basic, dungeon to it as well. This is a separate, like 10-page little dungeon that's a different approach to it. And then they've added other stuff onto as well. So the reason I keep looking back is because I've got the PDF of this. I don't have it printed. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I do have it on my phone though. So I can get the description of each of the areas here. There we go. Okay, so you're moving in. So what there is in here, old boxes and barrels that are kind of stacked up, and there is the smell as you're going in here, Orban, of like dust and mildew. And these things look to have been here for decades. This does not look like the place where the bandits are stealing their stuff or stowing their stuff. This looks like an area that is not in heavy use.
Right. I guess we'll just move in far enough to see like if it's just the one room or if there's any other path out of it.
Okay.
Oh, there's a continuing path, it looks like.
Okay, and here's something interesting. You see the shift in color and the tile to the north there? Like goes from
here?
gray
Yeah.
to darker gray here?
Yeah.
That is because it is a small, like 3-foot high crevice or cavern, or not cavern, a 3-foot wide high tunnel that goes in there. So anyone of dwarf or halfling height does not suffer any penalties, but humans, elves, half-orcs, and whatnot, physical activities become like fighting, become one stage more difficult.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. So it's a low tunnel, about 3 feet high, that seems to go to the north.
It's a low tunnel here. Shall we explore it?
I can already not see in the dark, and I don't feel.
Let me
I
check.
like to be in tight spaces in the dark.
Then you wait here, and I will check where it leads to see if there's any reason to follow it.
Okay.
Lead me to the opening. Lead me to the opening.
Okay, yeah. So I lead you to the opening of where it gets small.
You hear a little bit of fumbling and
Yeah.
lights up our torch again.
So you can feel it. Oh, you're lighting the torch again? Okay.
Hopefully I'm far enough away nobody can see, but she does not want to be in the dark by herself.
This is one of the
Right.
upsides of the torch giving off so little light.
Ooh, okay. I will guard here.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's right to the north. I'll just move you a little south. See right there where it changes color?
Yep.
It's just a low opening, so you have to kind of crouch down, Orb, and make your way in.
Okay, so I'm gonna crouch and crawl through here.
And let me see what awaits up ahead.
So I'm attempting to be stealthy.
Sure. Okay.
So 1 degree harder would probably be just easy check for you then.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and move yourself forward.
Reminds me how much I love playing Dorman, the stealthy freaking wizard.
Okay. So when you get to there, why don't you give us a standard perception check? Voices. Not directly up ahead, but seemingly echoing. As if there's another tunnel for the voices are going down and then echoing out of the chamber ahead of you.
I'm gonna have to crawl in the tunnel, aren't I? Oh.
I think you hear a whisper come back down the tunnel. Come this way. Quietly.
She'll make a big show of swallowing hard and then get down, and you hear clank, clank, scrape, scrape, scrape. She starts moving in there.
Okay, hold up. I just need to rearrange some lighting here. God, I don't know why it's so hard to move these fucking things when it's just easier to redraw it. Hold on a second here. There's a really neat kind of like, this is a 3-dimensional map, but I've got a way I can set it up so that the illusion is not lost on you guys. You're not accidentally seeing shit that you shouldn't. Okay.
Imagine her eyes are starting to water a little bit from the torch in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, like the smoke and shit coming off. That's part of the thing too. Like I don't know whether this is their intent, but like a torch does not give off that much light as it is, or at least not much useful light.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's sputtering away. Let me double check. Hold on, John. I'm gonna check for if there is like a low light mechanic. Maybe there is in the game. It says 10 feet of light, and I don't know if it gives anything further.
I'm just glad I can see 5 feet around me, 10 feet around me. So
we have torches.
oh, they have a falconer's kit in here. That's cool.
Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't. So a lantern gives you a 10-foot radius, but a hooded lantern gives 30 foot directly. There's no dim light.
That's okay. I can use it like a club, so that's my fighting style, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
One of the other things with Orban's light, the more intensity he puts into it, the wider the area is. So you can make a much more effective thing, which is kind of cool because that makes magic light stand out from,
Nice.
regular stuff. So, Orban, you can see up ahead, there's another low, still only 3 feet tall. There's a natural cavern up ahead.
Oh, there's Orban.
Yeah, he was waiting there for you. Sway, quietly. Let me stay a bit ahead of you. I'll tell you when to snuff the light. That probably makes her nervous.
Blank.
What do you mean snuff the light?
Okay. So it sounds like as you're getting closer, Orban, yeah, the voices are coming in from up ahead and to the right. Are you asking Alana to stay here, or are you gonna?
He's saying just let him be a little bit ahead so he can let her know when to snuff the torch. So
Okay.
come to the corner, like, no, come here. They're ahead.
Okay, so as you go forward, there is something you see. So there's a bunch of rubble over here,
Yeah.
but it looks like there is. It looks like there's something in there, too.
I see something ahead.
Can you be more specific?
I can't tell what it is yet.
Well, if you scream, I'm running. to you.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
You told her to wait, so she's waiting.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
just stay up a little bit behind so your torch doesn't shine ahead. So
Oh, so if I see you, I should stop. Okay, I'll stop there.
yeah, exactly. Like, right.
okay. So,
So
you
I
get,
crawl to there.
it looks like, so right over here, there's a pile of what looks like pieces of paper, and there might be a little statuette that is there. It's collapsed. Whatever was set up in there seemed to be kind of impromptu-ish, and there might be markings on the wall. In this lighting, or like total blackness, it's not clear that any human would see this, but like a dwarf or an elf or something might, or a human who crawled underneath here.
I could definitely see something.
There is also another low cavern leading out here. The voices are coming from right in this direction.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Stay here for a second, and I'll crawl to see if I can see. Okay, I can see their light.
Yeah.
From there.
And you see where the change in tone here. This is where the low cavern ends, and then it seems to open up into a regular size. You can hear clearly two men talking to one another.
Yeah. So, I'll crawl over. Where did you say that stuff was? Over here?
Right over here, yeah. Like
Yeah.
right here.
So I'm gonna crawl over here. Bring the
Okay.
light over here. Quietly.
Clank, clank, clank.
Alana, would you give us a standard perception check, please?
Yes, made it.
So as you're crawling along here, Orban is getting close to where this stuff is kind of buried. It looks like he's going to go into something. You feel as if something just twisted in your gut.
Hold.
And you're looking down at this thing. What you guys can see is it is collapsed here, but there is a small, somewhat, busted from age. There is a shrine that has been built here. Yeah, there is a cheap statuette of a chaste-looking woman dressing in flowing robes. It looks like the kind of thing that might be bought at a market as opposed to a proper religious icon. And around this, there are small tokens of devotion, dried flowers, pretty stones, cheap trinkets, etc., are arranged around there. And a small pile of notes are there, held down by a rock paperweight. And while the statuette does not look like anything remarkable, looks, to be honest, quite cheap, there is something that is deeply off-putting to you about it, Alana.
She'll kind of eyeball it sideways and maybe detect evil?
Sure. If you wish to detect, I think, is it at will or is it...
Concentrating for a single melee round, you detect any supernatural evil beings. I don't know if that's effects, but...
Yeah. If you do, there is a brief... There's the, flash in any horror movie jump scare where you can suddenly feel the swirling of black tentacles grabbing you and you are suddenly back.
Do not touch it. It's tainted.
There is a single word that has entered your mind. Nyxthesis.
She resists saying that name.
Wise.
Taste foul upon her tongue.
What is that?
It's a foul altar. Do not touch it. Something dark holds sway there.
Just keep my distance.
Orban, you can give us I think you got quite a few lores.
Yeah, alchemy, geography, history, and monsters.
You could give us a hard history check.
I'm fairly good with religion. That's about... Oh, and piety religion, too. But...
Close, but no
You could give us
cigar.
you give us an easy religion check, Alana, if you'd like. Just based on what you've seen here. That's a crit.
I'm imagining the paladin thing kicks in there.
So you were asking before, why would a paladin come to Stonehell? It's because the name Nyxthesis. Over the past 200 years, your order has become aware of at least 3 instances. Once originally from some of the prisoners released, they spoke lovingly of something called Nyxthesis. A second time, someone who escaped until he chewed his own tongue out could do nothing but scream that name. And a third time, one of the practiced oracles of the clerical order that supports your chapter, they wrote that word down after a specific divination, and a day later cast themselves from the highest reaches of a chapel. Nyxthesis. You need not look at any of the notes. You know that name is likely to be scrawled across there. There is no organized religion that you know of that venerates a god, demon, or devil called Nyxthesis. But it is clearly something black, dark. It is something... Go ahead.
She'll whisper to Orban and says, I will not speak the name, but is the reason I'm here, at least to investigate. When we're out in the open and in the light, perhaps.
You realize, even as crude as this is as unhallowed as any sanctified place to one of your gods. Orban, you can see the look of... What's the look, maybe, with the reflection of the torchlight? Orban has a distorted view of your face, but what is the expression on Alana's face right now?
It's a mixture of disgust and like a dilated, widened eyes and widen, as though cold sweats.
Mm.
This
This
should not linger here.
no, clearly not. Should we destroy this stuff or leave it untouched?
Best to remain buried until, now that I know it's here, I can send word to have actual people come and cleanse this place.
Fair enough. Let us move on for now. Mark its location.
So that's kind of your job, though, isn't it, Alana? You're effectively a freelance, right? Like, you're an adventuring paladin. You don't have any authority. You don't have any sway. You're out doing what paladins do sometimes, which is to travel and write rights.
Well, she's kind of like in the middle of the whole, like, just discovering it, but there's a bandit full of cave full of bandits, and we'll see how that goes before we deal with this thing that might eat her soul.
So why don't you give it? I don't doubt you would have said. Why don't you give us a deceive check?
Okay, standard.
Let's say standard. And Orban, why don't you give us a insight check? Standard.
Failed.
So Alana blusters about bringing in like an army to go here, and I think the only reason I'm making this roll is because I think like that probably speaks to how freaked out she is, right?
Okay, fair. Yeah.
She's not scared per se, because paladins do not feel fear, but that does not mean that they are not intimidated by the scale of the task.
Right. Maybe.
So even being next to her kind of like pushes it away from you as well. But this is something that just goes beyond fear.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This trepidation.
Maybe we need to come back when there is more time to do this carefully.
And everything you've heard about the ghost beggars, like, they seem to have some other purpose for coming here, or at least that's what this noble who hired you suggested. But Alana, what if far to the south they heard the call of this thing? What if that's the reason they're here?
Oh gosh.
It adds even more reason to end them before they do something horrible.
So what I will tell you is that if it is, you at least made enough of a roll. This is not well maintained. The discoloring of the paper in the light too, this has been here for a while. So if this is a place of regular veneration, it is really poorly maintained. This may have been here for quite some time. Unless they came crawling in here, they may not be aware that it's here. It is deeply unpleasant in this cave. But
yeah,
what do you guys do?
You said you heard voices?
Yes, there.
Orban?
He points, he gestures this way. Also, I think there's enough room to stand.
That would be very pleasant.
So you guys would not need to make a check for this, but basically, like 35 feet away, there are two men talking.
Okay, yeah.
They are outside, like you can see quite clearly it still carries down quite low ceilings up until that point, and then it seems to open up like right outside there. Oh, I think you can see one, Orban.
Yeah, I can sort of just catch the edge of them pacing probably as they're talking.
If you move one up, they still will not see you. You'll be in pitch blackness.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can move here.
Yeah, you're in pitch blackness right now as far as they're concerned. So there's one.
Yeah.
They're sitting.
And you said this tunnel's like 3 feet tall. So they're sitting. So we'd be about eye level with them.
They are outside.
Okay. Or Jeff, you think I should douse my torch before I move anymore?
I think it would be wise.
Okay.
Okay, let me turn your...
Can you see the light?
As soon as the light goes off, I'm going to move. Okay, I see some light. Yes.
You're still invisible too, Alana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
little bit closer. I'll let Jeff lead because she's going to be scraping the moment she gets in that tunnel. So, just so you know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, you could crouch in that, although I guess it's difficult in trying to avoid hitting your stuff on the back. I think I'd set a standard. Standard? Let's still make it easy. Easy stealth, because I'm assuming you're doing all you can to try and not make noise.
Yeah.
I'm just checking to see what the thing is there. I'm trying to keep it away from the mic as well, too, so we don't get popping. Apologies for those at home if I got the phone too close to the mic, too. So here's an interesting thing, Orban. There is a tunnel that goes straight down here, and then it carries forward. I think that's all you can see thus far.
Mm.
What are you thinking?
Shall we ambush them? We will lose our...
Oh yeah, you don't have befuddle anymore.
No, I know.
You could attempt to make yourself invisible. We could sneak further in, but...
If I were to back away from here, maybe I could do it without them hearing.
Best case, they kind of squeeze in and find out what that noise was.
Yes. So I'll back up, like, not to where the thing is, but, like, to this corner.
Okay.
And I've got eyes on one of them, so if one comes in, I can see him coming.
Okay.
And I will attempt to...
So just a casting check, please. I'm assuming you're dropping to your knees so that you're freely able to do your unnecessary movements.
Yeah, he's got to do the unnecessary movements.
There you go. Was it 3 magic points, I think?
Yeah.
Remember, you can consume your potion of magicka to get one. I think it's 1d4 plus 1 magic points back.
He probably would do that at this point, knowing that we're like deep in the throes here, and he's feeling pretty spent.
Okay, so 1d4 plus 1.
Come on.
Nice!
Oh,
Awesome.
that's huge.
Okay, so 5 magic back. Or magic
That
points.
is absolutely huge.
Okay. So you likewise are invisible.
And I'm just, whoops, I don't need to.
Cannot see you anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna crawl back to the. Probably when I get behind you here, I probably tap on your back or something because it's
Can't see me to do that.
Oh yeah, I can't even see you. Yeah.
He could,
So
he could listen.
I bump into you. I mean, you're in the tunnel. I was like, and bump
Hey.
into you.
Watch those hands.
So what would you like to do?
You'll have the easiest time getting around them, so you should probably sneak first.
Okay, so I'll sneak around you.
Okay.
We've gone beyond White Shadow.
I'll attempt to be very quiet because they're really close to
So-
where we are.
It'll be, because you're not armored, let's set it as very easy. That includes your visibility.
And the
Yeah.
+1 difficulty for the tight spaces, and
Yeah,
otherwise it'd be hard
and
for
the
those.
elven grace as
Yeah.
well. So, or the stealthy or whatever. So go ahead and give us a very easy stealth check. I've rolled for their
I
perception.
think he has to roll a nat 100. in order to-
Nice. So here's a
Fail.
great example of this. You beat them. They did
Nice.
actually succeed in their perception check, but you beat them. So
Perfect.
go ahead and move yourself where you'd like.
So I'm gonna sneak past them here.
Okay. And after like a handful of heartbeats, Alana will start making her way in.
So I just want to stop you guys for a second here.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
both invisible.
Mhm.
Yeah,
As
you have no
soon
idea.
as, yeah, like unless you have some strategy for getting back in touch with one another,
Mhm.
if you're moving separately, you're going to lose track of one another. Because you guys have not made a plan for where you're going to re-meet. So, Alana, I'm just warning that if you're moving off, This is the proverbial, like, well, I'm lost, so I'll keep walking and try and find somebody. You guys could lose track of one another.
How about we just say that we meet up at the next tunnel entrance, and then
I think you'll very quickly find, if you crawl to the exit here, this is what you would see, Alana.
Okay.
There's 3.
Oh yeah.
So let's just leave you there. Of like,
I suppose, yeah. I'll wait at the edge there.
Okay, but Orban, go ahead and move yourself. Orban, I guess first off, hold on. You would have had a chance to discuss. Would you have agreed to that? Of just meet up at the first tunnel entrance, or do you think there's a better way to handle?
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. They would have.
No, that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. We what honestly might have been the best strategy is if he knows where you are, you leave Alana where you are. He goes and reconnoiters and then come back and gets you.
That sounds
right. I might have said just wait at the entrance and all. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you are.
Because I'm super quiet.
Then Alana, why don't you give us a? I think it's an easy stealth check.
They're gonna hear me.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Time to spend some more points.
You gonna luck that?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
I don't think any of my passions will come into play, so we'll go. Same roll. Roll 20.
However,
oh my goodness,
I failed by worse.
Okay.
So the
Oh, that's right.
So they kind of look over at you, and you just kind of stop there. And he's like,
I imagine she's coming through the tunnel. She screeched, but it wasn't loud enough below their conversation or something.
What's that? And then one of them says to the other one, "What is it?" So I thought I heard something. Just us, nothing. So you not seen them centipedes? You don't want them coming crawling up on you. It's like, all right. Alana, you kind of spare a look over. Did you crawl across a piece of like cast off chitin? Oh. Orban, what are you doing?
Okay, so he's gonna look around.
All right, so let me see what you see there.
So he moves sort of into that space. Oh, it's a huge space.
Yeah, you gave me so much ammunition with their conversation. Like, ooh, I can make chittering noises. That will freak them out.
So in here, what you see this dry cavern contains cracked cave formations. The smell of dirty bodies and wood smoke hangs heavy in the air. And because of your elven senses, Orban, there is a trap wire, or a tripwire, strung across the middle here. As if trying to catch someone.
Through the middle of this space here?
Yeah. Now, you don't have training in the roguely arts, so I don't think there's a way of making sense of what...
No.
I mean, you could give us a Herculean perception check. Maybe you might be able to make sense of it. Maybe you've encountered something like this before, but, nothing lost in making that roll, so...
Yeah, might as well. So, Herculean. And what's the skill?
Perception, please.
Oh, perception. Perception. No.
Okay. So you can see the tripwire, you're not sure what is going on. You can hear noise from up ahead, though. And you can see a little bit of light here. This is all dark, but it sounds like there are quite a few men and women up ahead. Like maybe 6. And what the smell that I was mentioning, of the cooking and the campfire, is from up ahead.
Oh, no.
Well, you can also see, I've got it blocked off, but this is a passageway that looks down, and you can hear the sounds of the horses coming from that direction. So this path down here may lead back to the entrance.
Right.
So the tunnel that you saw back in that first room there, it must go underneath this pathway here.
Right.
And then there is another entrance to the north up here. And I think you can see as well, there's a narrow little entrance right here. But that also is a low hanging ceiling.
He doesn't know what to do about this tripwire thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very low.
You're able to, the tripwire itself it seems to be designed to just be, to...
Right. I don't know what it does, but I could probably just step over it.
Yeah. You've spotted it now, so as long as there's no other mechanism that's going on in here.
I'd like to, yeah. I mean, at this point, I think this room is large enough. Man, I can't communicate very easily.
I'll get rid of the other barriers to light so you can actually see down that hallway if you choose to.
Like, yeah. So
to the south.
So, there's more light there.
And it sounds like there are 3-4 men down in there. And the way they're banging around, it looks like they're... To be honest, with the way they're talking to one another, it sounds like they're searching for something. And let me just... I'm going to block off one area that you have not been yet. Because you have not seen what's down there yet. There you go.
So you'll go back up this way.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean that just loops around. That's what he thought.
So that doesn't loop around. Remember, that's where that tunnel goes under. So there is actually a wall here. It's just that I'm not going to keep...
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. That's a tunnel under there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like, if I was having this would be what line of sight would be here.
Right. I got it now.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but I can kind of tell that I've looped around.
Definitely.
Past those guys is what I.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the horse area down here.
Past there.
Past there.
Whatever's going on in there, there's men looking in boxes and talking about what they've found.
Okay, I'm gonna just come down there and I don't see them. Oh, there. Oh, now I see the horse guys. Okay.
Yeah, so the horse guys are to the south, and then just to the south of where you are, there sounds like there's
talking like over here. I hear
two guys over here, two guys over here.
Yeah.
And they're sort of laughing and it's clear that they're talking about spoils from a recent robbery.
Okay.
I mean, you're invisible, so you're free to walk down there as well. This isn't a matter of you hiding in shadows. Normally, it would be very easy to remain unheard by these guys. It will be effectively, you're guaranteed to avoid being heard because of your elven stealth.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back up where I was.
John, give us a D6 roll, please.
Nice.
I don't want to leave you alone down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like the suspense, don't get me wrong.
It's a fun thing with this, what do you call it, with the dynamic lighting, I think. And this kind of, like, mega dungeon thing, this is part of the fun of,
Well, I'm also enjoying that Jeff is enjoying playing a sneaky wizard, because I gotta recommend it.
Okay. So what do you think?
I know. He feels like he wants to go back and get Alana, but how? So he's gonna crawl back to where they were.
Okay.
Sneak back to where they were.
Okay.
It's too. Yeah, there's two. I'm leaving her too far behind if I continue past that tripwire. So he'll crawl back or sneak back over here.
Okay. And if you sort of reach down into there blindly, you eventually push up against something on her.
Yeah, that's like exactly like you're gonna push into something that is a person, not a stone wall.
So then, Alana, why don't you give us just one more? I think with Orban's assistance, why don't you make it a very easy stealth check?
Okay. Hell yes.
Oh, it's a crit.
She's been meditating on elven stealthiness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so go ahead and move yourselves where you'd like. They're not going to hear you. And again,
Right.
when you step out, Alana, what you could see briefly, there's a tunnel that cuts down under here.
Mm-hmm.
There is another low ceiling up here. And then there's a wider blackness up in this direction. Where are you leading her, Orban?
Well, the thought was to go this way, but like, to not break contact now that they've touched each other, like, you know, and then
If
I'll
wait
gonna
till
take her all the way to where the tripwire is.
Okay.
yeah, I'll wait until we're like 20 feet away from them before I whisper, "Get me to a spot where light can't be seen." Because she's gonna light up her torch again.
Okay, I see.
Oof.
And I'm in the dark now. I can't see nothing.
Yeah. Where do you think, Orban? Because there's that to the south. There be a clear line of sight from where the bandits are looting. I think if it's not clear from the map, in this area right here. As far as you can tell, there's nothing that would be able to see from here or here.
How long is the tripwire?
Cuts across the half of the room.
Oof.
Or
Could
the-
you lead me around it?
In the darkness, you could, but you'd have to... We're going to leave it to the dice to see whether or not you accidentally trigger it. Because also, he
Gotcha.
can't see your feet either, right?
That's true, yeah.
No.
I love invisibility. This is so great. One of our first campaigns with 3rd edition was with all the guys, and we had a similar thing where, like, there was a siege in a tower, and they all cast invisibility themselves and used a rope to try and go out and reconnoiter where these kobolds are, and then things just kind of fell apart because people started letting go of the rope and whatnot, and then there was this mad scramble to get back to the tower while kobolds on the back of like dire weasels were fucking riding back and forth and clipping off guys.
Yeah.
Might just have to risk the light being seen. It doesn't put off that much light, so light bleeding in from another space might...
I could take you all the way to the far side, I guess, since you did whisper that. I don't know that that'll work, but I could try.
So this is where the tripwire is?
Yeah. Give me like 7 or 8 feet away from it, and then get me near the edge of it so I can like see it.
Yeah.
Try and see it. It's
Try.
concealed through. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Grab some dust and sprinkle it.
Oh man.
What do you think, Orban?
Sorry, what's the line that it is?
It's basically right in front of you, so like right around.
Oh, right. That's what I imagined. Okay, yeah. So that's where I'm taking her. Is right where I am.
Okay.
I guess I'll pull right against the wall and pull her like as close over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that. Yeah.
You're gonna have to move me next behind him, or because I can't see the move. I don't know where he is.
There you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Now, Alana, give us a d6 roll, please.
Alrighty. A 4.
Okay. So then give us a easy perception check, Alana.
Okay. Easy. Perception.
You can see what
Yes.
Orban's talking about. Like, if you hadn't been looking for it and hadn't been pointed out, it'd be so easy to miss this thing.
We can step over it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She looks around, kind of like as much as she can see in her 10-foot radius sphere of light.
Sure. Give us a Herculean perception check, please.
Trying to see if she can spot whatever this contraption is. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to roll really, really high.
Okay. So looking around, you cannot see what...
I'm going to re-roll it.
Sure.
Just in the odd chance that luck is on my side. Nope. Okay.
Okay.
She says, shrugs and is like, oh yeah, he can't see me. Oh well, I'm going to jump over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I let go of you, I guess, because I have to let you try to cross it without being encumbered by us.
Okay.
I mean, I'm strong enough. I could probably grab you and jump with you over it. You what weigh $150?
Probably. He's a thin little elf. Do you go to pick him up?
$105?
With your armor and stuff, this is where the encumbrance actually would come in.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be something that would encumber you.
Okay, maybe not do that then.
This doesn't mean you'll
maybe.
fail. It just means that I would get you to make an athletics check. You got a great chance of succeeding in this, but
Okay.
if you can just step over, though. Like, if you choose to just step over it, guys,
Yeah.
you've seen it. As
Yeah.
long as there's
Right.
no other consequence from stepping around it, you guys are fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, so kind of like do a step, like a jump step, just kind of
Okay?
over it.
So if
Just to
Alana
make
does
sure
that,
her invisible feet don't touch it.
seem to be fine. You hear the sound of her booted feet hit the far side.
Yeah.
And
I
then she's
carefully
going to move a little
step
bit
over.
further here, just so he doesn't land on her.
Okay?
He
Now,
would have.
You can hear Alana from where this lighted area is. This is where that campfire and the smell of cooking meat and the sound of men and women talking is coming from.
Okay, well, I got enough light to see by again, so she like stares at her torch. Well, it's invisible, so she can't actually stare at it, but it's like, this thing's gonna have no life left after it, and she rubs it out again.
Okay.
I need
Now-
a mining helmet.
This is interesting. Is what you can see. There's a raised area here. And it looks like someone has built up a pretty comfy little place of rugs, pillows, and such, all pilfered from other folk, no doubt. You're in blackness up until you guys reach here. That's where the light begins, right in the
She's
squares
gonna-
here.
She's
And you're
gonna whisper
invisible
out,
as well, too, so.
take my hand, we'll follow around until we get it, and then I'll lead him over.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I can see the light just enough to follow the wall, I think. Oof. Good thing I put that torch out. There's 4 people that I can see.
I think there's one more to the south that you can't, you can
Step
hear.
in.
Well, you're invisible.
Step in. Yep, I see just the edge of another one.
Okay.
Right there. This is a good spot to whisper back and forth. None of these guys look at the description of the guy I'm looking for with the sword. We keep going around him?
Sneak past, yes.
Okay. Gonna stick to the wall. Get to the edge here, peer around the corner.
Orban,
Do
you
I
can-
know that? Do I know that
Oh,
person looks like?
no.
I don't have their description, or I do as well.
I think both of you guys do.
Yeah, I would have given it to you.
Orban, you
more
can
than-
hear the sound of something from in there.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you crouch down and see, Let me see.
Oh, that's low in there as well.
It is.
Yeah, I can see that thing.
Yeah.
When I bend down.
Let me see if I loaded
Oh no.
image in here, or if I had that from before. Let's see.
And then on one of Kevin's cliffhangers.
There you are. Okay. Oof. So what you can see... Oh, I don't have his... I'm not sure where his image is here. But I can make his image real big for you here. So this is... Let's put him in the middle of the room here. What looks back at you. Orban, hunched over, emaciated, clearly not living, and seemingly chained to the center of that room on a leash so it can move up to there. It's smelling the air.
Oh.
And they all sort of look over in that direction at the rattling of the chain. And all of them seem to laugh at one of the guys. They're like, he's chained up. He can't get out. Gotta keep the boss's treasure.
Is that Jeffrey that they were talking about earlier?
And if you move to here, well, look at that.
That's the
Lying
guy.
on the bed, seemingly reading a book, is precisely the person you were looking for. And that, guys, I guess, is where we're going to leave things. Oh, if you could put in chat, maybe, if we do return to this, that you guys are invisible and there are blue equals befuddled. That way I will not forget what...
Did you say it's still another 4 hours left of invisibility?
I'd say 5 hours. You guys have been making some pretty good time here.
Oh yeah, we've been.
That
Yeah.
means you're still like 5 hours and 40 minutes or something.
Yeah. So then, guys, that brings us to the end of our first chance at playing classic fantasy Mythras and our first trip to Stonehell. What'd you guys think of, I guess, first off, Mythras?
It's a good return to it. It's it started clicking real quick because it's a lot similar with what I played on the channel beforehand.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, last time I played this, I was 10 years younger and still really getting into other stuff that wasn't just D&D.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Now it's like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities to some of those other games, like Elder Scrolls. Definitely, you can see the influence of Mythras into that. You can see it in Zweihander with the 3-action economy, or the 3 action points stuff too. Not everyone has 3 action points in this game. Jeff, how was it playing a caster?
It was a lot of fun. It was I really like that character. It's a fun character to play, and Befuddle is an amazing spell. In this game.
Definitely for cantrip. I don't know, like we had what, 1 combat? That's
Well, nearly 2, but we kind of squashed that one before it escalates in the blows. So,
which is cool. How are you guys feeling about, like, what was the thought process behind trying to hold off a fight with these things? I think in other games you may just have gone in and like fought them individually, right?
that's always an option. But I was like, I'm gonna have fun with this character, and you know, they're bandits and whatnot, and ex-pirates, and then kind of spooky. I was like, I'm gonna try to spook them out and see if that helps. See what this character can do. And it turned out well. And then he ran and was like, nope, befuddled.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so used to mages being squishy, and these are first level characters, and so I just feel extra squishy I mean, that was my thought process of like, okay, let's not get killed here.
Yeah, I was didn't want to see Orban get into combat because he's got what 4 AP on all of his stuff, but once he takes 11 damage, it's just gone. Like, I'm not letting them get near him.
Well, and you've seen how much damage you do on some of your hits, right?
I rolled pretty good, but yeah, it was like, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with I love knocking that thing's leg off, and then the other one, it was just like, fall to your deaths.
Yeah, it and then for Stonehell, so I ran the bandit. This is the gosh, what is it called? This is called the Stonehell Supplement 1 Brigand Caves. So I added a little bit of a flourish to some of the backstory for it, to contextualize it for your characters, and a little bit of same thing with the shrine. Everything else is run as written. It's very cool. For context for this, there's a map, and there's a second page that has everything about each of the different locations on it. Nothing
That's
further.
cool.
Like, it's a real pick up and play kind of dungeon. But what I found interesting about it when I was reading it is how it feels like a place that is it's lived in. It's a place in progress. Did it feel like that as you guys were snooping around and seeing where things were and what people were doing?
I love that there's a background access. Like, when there's multiple ways to get into a place, it's like, I always love that.
Yeah.
So, gives an incentive to exploring stuff. And just like our typical fashion, we found the back way in.
Yeah.
It definitely felt busy and lived in, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh man, the dark spaces with the scraping through the tunnels. It's just, mechanically, just it's hard and roll the dice. But it was like I was getting into character, scraping against the tunnels, and she does not like dark, tight spaces.
No. Well, that's something I thought was so. What hopefully was going to be interesting about it is just knowing the cramped spaces in some of those things. It just seemed like visually, like if you, because I think you've done spelunking before too, right, John?
Not a lot. Like, I don't have a claustrophobia or a phobia of tight space. I just don't like them. So
okay, yeah, because I've gone spelunking before, and there's something very fucking cool and very alien about being in a cramped little space like that and forced to make your way, along. So I thought that was just a neat thing. And then I'm so glad you guys found the shrine too, because that's one of the things that's really neat about this one. This particular, like a lot of the good mega dungeons, is the atmospheric storytelling. Is you guys learn about the place by going and encountering stuff and overhearing and whatnot. And I think that's this dungeon seems to do a really good job of that.
Yes, I did like that a lot. So
nice. All right. Well, then, any closing thoughts, guys, before we launch into the outro?
Would play again as a pickup game. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd say it was fun.
Awesome.
I really like Jeff's character as far as being the mage. Is like, that's what I like to see a sneaky mage do. That's great stuff.
Yeah. The casting and the decision to push the spell, but also having like a what do you call it? Those magic potions. Like, it felt like there's a really interesting mechanic that's going on there with you can just go hard really early on and cast a lot of spells, but your magicka, if it goes down, you gotta find some other way to make yourself useful. The befuddle, they could have resisted that stuff. I think if you would successfully cast a spell, it would have been very difficult for them to do so. But that's a really cool thing that you just, if all you need to do is stun. It's a cantrip equivalent of sleep almost, but a single target.
Yep.
Right? That's a really very cool stuff.
The magic missile was pretty potent though. So
sorry?
The magic missile, he didn't roll very high, but it was still pretty potent. And he tagged that one twice and got to finish it off. It was great.
It was cool. Great. Yeah, it was really cool seeing the choose location come in handy like that too, right? Like of being pick that one. I love that we got to see the changing of space too, like closing range, opening range. That was really neat. It's something that I think is, I've seen them do that in Conan, in 2D20 Conan as well too, but it's not great in that. Like, there is a feeling of that, but it's not as interesting, and it's not as punishing as what some other ones are, where you're just taking attacks of opportunity or whatnot. It's cool that you can spend an action to close, or you can, and I think to successfully do that without a special effect, you actually need to make a successful contested roll to be able to kind of maneuver yourself in there. So
I like that whole range thing because it gives you good benefits for having short daggers, short range, and they can't attack you unless they step back. But then if you have short daggers, they hit you with a big weapon. It's
yeah, it's neat because with the evade, like rogues are able to evade without falling prone unless they fail, and only if they fail against range attacks. So nice. It's a neat way of It seems like there's a lot of neat stuff going on here. Jeff, any closing thoughts?
I really enjoyed it.
Oh shit, guys, I forgot. We played for 4 hours today. Let's do one more thing. You have 4 experience rolls.
Oh.
So pick 4 skills, and we're going to roll quickly experience for them.
Does the human bonus experience?
No, that's
count?
only at the end of an adventure. But every session, you get the 4. You get the 1 per hour. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into the character sheet. Whatever skill you're going to do, just put a little tick next to it that you've trained it.
Check mark. Okay.
Yeah, and then what you're going to do is click on the cog. It'll open up the thing, and then click on improve. And it'll roll for you, and it'll tell you how much you're going to go up. What you do is you make a roll, you add your intelligence stat to that, and if you roll over, you get a certain amount. If you roll under, you get a certain amount.
Okay, I'll do Paladin Stealth, because I use Stealth a lot. It makes sense to boost that up.
Yeah.
Perception, and it's just skills or anything?
Just skills.
Okay.
We would also look at passions if there's a passion you drew. I don't think anyone drew in any passions today, but
I'll do go streetwise because I started the session with that one. Okay, so let's start with improve.
So +2.
So 63% now.
Yep. So you add +2% to whatever that was your combat style, right?
Yes.
Yep. Add +2% to your combat style.
Okay. Go with streetwise.
Wait, what do we hit? The cog?
Yeah, you cog and then there's an improve button.
Yep. +5% to your streetwise.
Wow.
I can't hit the cog.
So on the right side, there's a cog next to each of the skills.
Oh, next to each individual skill.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. +4. So stealth is 32.
And perception. Oh,
Nice. +4.
we got improvements all around. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then you do the same thing, Jeff. Whichever 4 skills you want to train, just click that. I can't remember if you can do back-to-back on it or not. I think you can, but maybe leave them...
I just checked all 4, and then I just did the cog, improve, and then...
Yeah, so maybe leave them ticked for now. I'll look up between now and whenever we play this again.
Okay, so I'm going to try perception.
Okay. Fail, still goes up by 1.
Oh,
So it'll be 65 now.
Yep.
Oh, so you're still improving if you fail.
Yeah, even if you fail, it's a lesser amount.
I'll try my stealth because I used that a lot.
Nice. +4. So your stealth will be 62. Arcane casting you can also raise if you choose.
Yeah, that was what I was going to do. So arcane casting, try.
Yep. +1. So, but here's the thing. It's 60% now. Once it hits 61, then you'll have a max intensity of 7.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is lore monsters because I used it a couple times and it seemed important.
Nice. +5. 56%.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good. Nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that level up system. That's pretty cool.
It's really. I think it's a really, really cool thing. And then there's other things like you can spend experience points to gain new class abilities or to gain new things. And the way you go up a rank is there are certain skills that each of your classes kind of favor. And once I think it's 5 of them are at a certain level, it's either 50. I think it's 70%, 70. Then you go up to rank 2 once you do training, once you have an opportunity to have kind of like downtime. And for, let's see here, prereq skills. So for magic users, it's arcane casting, arcane knowledge, influence, insight, lore, any, perception, or willpower. To reach rank 2, you need to have 70%, 70 in 5 of them. And then for for paladins, channel, combat style paladin, courtesy, influence, insight, piety, ride, or willpower. Once you have 5 of those, that's 70%, you can reach rank 2. Now that's when you would get your access to rank 0 spells.
You said courtesy?
Courtesy, influence, insight, piety, ride, or willpower, and channel and combat style.
Yeah, I don't see courtesy on the list of my skills.
Courtesy might be a professional skill, one that you haven't trained in yet.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, courtesy is not a standard skill. You can also spend you can spend an experience roll to gain a professional skill. And then you just gain it at the basic default level, which is 2 stats added together, or 1 stat times 2, depending on the skill.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot about this. This is something that Jeff reminded me, because this is something we've talked about before. The using skills, and then you level up based on what you do. You don't have to do that in Mythras. You've got more flexibility in the way you spend them. There's also certain powerful spells that require the use of experience rolls. So you have to save them up and use them the way you would spend XP in classic D&D.
Nasty.
Awesome. All right, so they are leveled up now. That's why I wanted to make sure I had separate characters for you guys, so you guys could do this at the end of the session. Then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this first expedition with Mythras Classic Fantasy and our first expedition to Stonehell. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the adventure, I guess, then please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'm certain I screwed up some things in Mythras as well, too, so if I did screw up anything, feel free to correct me or on things, particularly that charge thing. I'd be interested to know whether charge is supposed to be a penalty for the whole round, or whether it's only for the one turn, because it's not really clear in my mind how that's supposed to work. But in any event, there is also a link down below to something called our Dungeon Musings Discord server, where you have channels dedicated to most of the games we run on the channel, most for campaigns we have, as well as other things like finding a group, GM discussion. There's a terrific community that's built up over the years over there, very helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly. You're more than welcome to join us over there. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising we run on the channel. We've finished up with all the charity initiatives we have for the year, apart from one last charity session that will be running in a couple of weeks. But any donations through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International Charity. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an amazing selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserFrost, all caps, all one word, at checkout, and you'll save yourself 10% on the purchase. If you're listening to this after January 15, 2025, come back to one of our more recent videos and you'll see what the discount code is there. Last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart venturers into Stonehell. So John and Jeffrey, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. I've been really looking forward to seeing how this game plays at the table. This was really fucking cool. It was very cool seeing how you guys, I love that you guys you seemed to be like willing to pick a fight when you needed to, but it was really great seeing you guys making, I don't know, it felt like you were making the decisions that you would make in an old school game, but with a more sophisticated set of rules, than there. So, yeah. You also
Orban had invisibility. That changed the entire game. It was like, let's be sneaky.
Yeah. It's very cool that you get that at first level too. Like the way that the spells work, you get access to what would be first and second level spells right from the get-go, which is pretty cool.
And that the duration lasts so long is like you can really use that, but once your magic's gone, your magic's gone. So
yeah. And I like like there was always a chance you guys maybe being heard and then maybe discovering, or like they did, like where that one guy was able to figure out where you were. It was very, very, very cool. All right, then for those listening at home, we'll be back in, oh gosh, we're almost about the holiday season, actually. So coming up, we're having our holiday break, so I cannot say when we'll be back. It'll be the new year when we'll be back in the Griddle House Empire. And it sounds like we may be back in Stonehell at some point soon, too. So for those listening at home, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our stalwart heroes have encountered as they're just trying to find and return a sword. I mean, how hard could that be? Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy,